I've been bout my papyrus since I've been in it. Put me in the debate, you know I'm gon' win it. If I scream black power, don't get timid. If I say black city, I'm talking about Kemet. If I say black city, I'm talking about Kemet. Primary research and we done pushed it to the limits. All you dudes finished. The king counting cattle up with brother Reggie. When I'm in Oakland, smoke spoken, bro, they love the Chevy. Back in the day, it was the spokes on the chariot. Long procession when the king got carried out to every spot. Woman looking nice as ISIS. I read ancient texts, so my advice is priceless. Nubian gold, your ice don't entice us. Beating me harder than counting grains in your spices. Your heart was beating, but your brain dead. You're lifeless. Yo, they ain't nothing like us, yo. Don't try to make me mad. Make me smile and say you love me, man. That's real right there. Yeah, come on. You should listen to your main man's advice. Do a YouTube, apologize like dice. Or the back fade coming like the Antichrist. Egyptologists see me reading and said that I'm nice. I got a speller with your name on it. I'm like Sargon. You the type of dude wake up and your car gone. Told, cause of the money you owe. Before you stream, you should clean up that humble abode. Like I'm not in city for my woman in gold. I keep the pseudos running, people coming in droves. You catch me on a live stream with Pan-African James. When we building, call us by our African names. I'm for the children. And ain't nothing happen to change. We on that black hype, so we still packing them things for protection. Got connections, My complexion, pure black, that's the S.
Yeah. What up? Go on and put up some comment in the chat. Let's get this video fired off right. We need interactions in the beginning of the video, so go on and spam the chat. Y'all know how we do. What's up, Devin? Glad you feeling them tunes right there. That's actually slapping. Shout out to my man Cash Martin for that track right there. Yeah. Play another tune. And then let's get into it. Have a conversation. Play a couple tunes maybe. I know you don't smoke no more, family, but you were very high. Trying to run up on Smash. The boys fought they fight, had an illiterate leader, that's why they thought they right. I know you ain't back fucking with cracks, but you was tripping saying Egyptians wasn't black, bruh. Got your mask cracked by Kara Cooney. She said they definitely were black, your face looked like you forgot to take your DoorDash order out of the backseat, you was very high. They want to talk to Egyptologists. You show me a degree and don't show me what college it is. And even though you was a crack fiend, bruh, still know you was a black king, bruh. While I was rocking stages with my crew in 92, cause that's my occupation, bruh. You got arrested on the stump in Baltimore, hella distant. Very high. Man, don't make me pull out this paperwork. If that's your hypothesis, nigga, make it work. And when you said 8 or 13%, you meant 8 out of 13 STRs, boy. Yeah, your mans went and messed that up. You're not a leader, boy, you never could compare my king. See that crown, boy, never could wear that thing. You want sources? Nigga, let me share my screen. Hey, Roo, you know what I'm talking about, Hori. He was high. What's up with y'all? I'm about to share this video real quick just to see how black people was doing back in the day.
A time in history when blacks were being lynched on a weekly basis, and the U.S. Supreme Court essentially legalized racism in the form of Jim Crow segregation, blacks headed west in a desperate quest to achieve an idealized notion of American freedom. Dusty frontier towns were transitioning from being Mexican territories to part of the new Union state of California by September of 1850. California joined the Union as a free state, and this attracted blacks who were navigating life post-slavery. One of those blacks, an escaped slave who became the highest-ranking black officer in the Union Army, was Colonel Allen Allensworth. He led 4 other black men in founding the first and only town in California that was fully funded, designed, built, governed, and populated exclusively by black people. Let's dive into that history.
I'm gonna recommend Unique Coloring, this channel with Daniel Middleton. Follow him.
Allensworth, the only California town founded and financed by blacks. Written and narrated by
Not
Daniel
the only.
J.
I'm
Middleton.
gonna show y'all another one after this.
While life at the turn of the century was hard for blacks due to forces outside their community, disparity also existed within. This was highlighted most prominently in the ongoing debate between W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington, 2 great leaders of that period. While both men strongly advocated for black social and economic progress, they made a public show of their sharp disagreement on the process by which these measures were to be accomplished. Directly in the midst of this civil rights quandary and heightened racial discrimination, 5 ambitious black men looked to California for a solution. Leading the way was Colonel Allensworth. On April 7, 1842, Allensworth was born in Louisville, Kentucky, the son of slaves named Phyllis and Levi. He was the youngest of 13 children, all of whom were sold off to various southern plantations. In the 1914 book, The Battles and Victories of Allen Allensworth, the author, Charles Alexander, relying on a primary source, writes, "His mother was the slave of Mrs. A.P. Starbird of Louisville, and as soon as Allen was old enough to be of any service, he was given to Mrs. Starbird's son, Thomas, to be his little nigger, as was the prevailing custom among such people at that time." It became apparent quite early that Allensworth was not going to abide a life of slavery. At around the age of 12, he was sold downriver to Mississippi for trying to learn how to read and write by playing school with young Thomas, and twice he attempted unsuccessful escapes. A third attempt, when the Civil War was already raging, resulted in Allensworth finding freedom at last. The war seemed to beckon Allensworth, who offered his service to the 44th Illinois Volunteer Infantry as a civilian nursing aide, but the post did not satisfy his desire to help the war effort. To that end, he joined the Union Navy on April 3, 1863, becoming a first-class seaman at a salary of $18 per month. His pay quickly increased to $30 thereafter, and he served on various gunboats, including the Queen City, the Pittsburgh, and the Cincinnati. Allensworth started out as a clerk and the captain's steward, but rose to the rank of first-class petty officer. After completing his service at the end of the war, he was honorably discharged on April 4, 1865, 11 days prior to the assassination of President Lincoln. Allensworth had the privilege of reuniting with his mother in Louisville briefly following the war. Then he traveled to Mound City, Illinois to secure work. The Mound City Naval Yard hired him as a commissary or clerk to the commandant, and that lasted till 1867, when he decided to pool savings with his brother William and go into business for himself. That resulted in 2 restaurants located in different parts of St. Louis.
This is the part I'll be wanting to hear, how they get the money. So he pooled savings with his brother and they had 2 restaurants,
which met with success from the start. After receiving an attractive offer from a prospective buyer, the brothers sold the establishments and Allensworth left his brother back in St. Louis while he moved on to new pastures. According to Charles Alexander, Allensworth's mother, Phyllis, told him that he was named for Bishop Allen, the respected preacher of the African Methodist Episcopal AME Church, whom she hoped her son would one day emulate. Allensworth must have taken this to heart because after experiencing a religious conversion, he became a minister during Reconstruction. Allensworth accomplished this by enrolling at the Baptist Theological Institute, now Roger Williams University, in Nashville, Tennessee, where he studied theology. And it was there that he met and married Josephine Lavelle, an accomplished organist and music teacher. Allensworth settled down to a quiet life in his native Louisville, where he preached from several pulpits. His mother Phyllis lived with them for a few months until she passed away in 1878 at age 96. But joy filled the home once more when the couple had 2 children together named Eva and Nella. The success of Allensworth's ministry also led to a political calling, and he served as a Kentucky delegate to the Republican Association. Allensworth turned to the church community to raise the funds necessary for a land purchase, and while he succeeded in doing this, landowners refused to sell to him.
Let's go back a little further. The California Colony and Home Promoting Association. We so think we can't do this stuff and it's been done already. Cats, the other day, I was listening to an argument and Cats was like asking, why should we study history? Just to be fair, they was like, why should we study ancient history? But history like this is cataloged in history as something good for us people to know. It don't matter how much time passes. This might be good for somebody to know 1,000 years from now, a black man to know 1,000 years from now. That's some brothers. This is not the same company I was talking about all the time when we talk about the lower, what was it? The Lower California Mexican Land Development Company with Theodore Troy and Hugh Macbeth. Brothers who was like, let's put some money together, buy some land, and successfully did it. This is a whole nother story, and let's let it continue.
Promoting Association. Allensworth turned to the church community to raise the funds necessary for a land purchase, and while he succeeded in doing this, landowners refused to sell to him. In time, a white-owned Los Angeles land development syndicate known as Pacific Farming Company approached the eager buyer. About 30 miles north of Bakersfield lay 800 acres of fertile land in rural Toledo, California that was up for sale. Not only did the Pacific Farming Company sell the land deed they signed stated that they were to supply the future town with a water system equal to the needs of its residents. On August 3, 1908, the association filed a township site plan with the Tulare County Recorder for Toledo, which had a convenient station that connected.
We stop it right there. Because this is a different type of YouTube. They giving up game. We about to investigate how relevant is the stuff that they saying right now. They said they filed a what? Come on now. We're going back to see how they did it.
In 1908, the association filed a township site plan with the Tulare County Recorder.
Let me see township. See what's up with that. Uh-oh. They still got township site plans out here. Oh, man. Come on, man. We lightweight. Now, let me see who could accept your... Let me see. Get a site plan? No. Need a site plan for permits? Need a site... Oh, come on, man. Townships... what? Are they serious? Lodi Township... All right, hold on. Genoa Township, application for site plan. Are y'all serious? Apply for a land use permit with Genoa Township Planning Department. Yep, contrary and thinking, plots. They call it plots. Thanks for adding some information. So you trying to tell me we could just be trying to get a township site plan, submit now? Y'all don't understand my plan of attack is to help the whole United States. We had to popping this thing out. But I'm still just doing the live research for fun so that I can hopefully inspire others to think that, hey, man, that's kind of like a good idea. Let me see. I put Chocolate City. Should have been inspired by Vegas, but I put inspired by Kemet. Chocolate City, and I wanted people to think like Las Vegas. where it's a destination location for a particular experience. The destination location Las Vegas is Sin City. So it's not just gambling, it's all kind of other stuff you be thinking about when you think about Las Vegas. Well, what oh, you said you got something for me about this land? Well, hey, I'm just trying to make it free and fun to have these conversations, to workshop and brainstorm on these type of conversations, because the idea that I have, I know is off the hook. I couldn't even, if it was a reality, I probably would be living there. And a lot of us would be. Because who's going to be like, all right, well, I got the cart in front of the horse. So let us finish looking at how he did what he did as I researched township plans and stuff.
Recorder for Salito, which had a convenient station that connected Los Angeles and San Francisco on the Santa Fe Railroad. That very year, Salito was renamed Allensworth in honor of its most celebrated founder. A council form of government was chosen to administer town affairs. It was known as the Allensworth Progressive Association, of which both men and women held various positions of responsibility. Officers were routinely elected by townspeople, and during town meetings, residents were encouraged to participate in civic affairs. The township attracted black families who moved there with enthusiasm. Within a year, Allensworth was home to 35 families. By 1912, the population grew to 100, including the town's first newborn, Alwortha Hall, who was born in 1910 to Allensworth residents William and Elizabeth Hall. In 1914, the town also became a voting precinct and a judicial district, with both a justice of the peace and constable. 2 general stores, a post office, a library, and a school were established to serve the community. The school was the largest investment for the town, costing $5,000 to build. The one-room school offered classes catering to students ranging from elementary to high school grades, and it had 3 board members, one of which was Allensworth's wife, Josephine, who was its first teacher. An Allensworth business district soon developed, boasting a bakery, a livery stable, a drugstore, a barber shop, a machine shop, several other stores, and even a hotel. But the town truly was an agricultural community, which depended on the cultivation of sugar beets, cotton, alfalfa, and grain. Black farmers also raised chickens, turkeys, dairy cattle, and Belgian hares. These enterprises required a lot of water, and for the first few years, the town flourished, with the population peaking at 300 settlers by the early 1920s. The community started a slow decline following a tragic incident in September 1914. Colonel Allensworth sought to expand his eponymous town further. This involved a lecture circuit that took him to various black churches throughout California, where he spoke passionately to congregants in an effort to raise more funds and attract new residents. While in Monrovia, California to give one of his usual lectures, the colonel stepped off a streetcar and was immediately struck down by a speeding motorcyclist. The colonel died within 24 hours. The Allensworth community was devastated, but it carried on under the leadership of the Justice of the Peace and co-founder Professor William Payne, but the colonel could not be replaced. By 1920, William Payne, who served as a school principal, was gone. He moved to El Centro for a teaching job. Allensworth's widow, Josephine, moved to Los Angeles the same year to live with her daughter, Nella. After 1925, a mass exodus
So I found it already, so I'm stopping it. Now, you know, this is just a little YouTube quick search to inspire us to do it on our own, you know, offline and really make stuff pop. But now you're trying to tell me, so it's called the master plans. And they breaking it down right here. This is really information on how you erect your city. As we talk about it. All right. I'm popular today. How you erect your city. or whatever. I mean, I know it sounds crazy to you, but let's just look at some of this stuff they're talking about in the Nevada Planning Guide. Future, they got the master plans in Nevada, master plan components, future land uses and zoning districts, the state planning in Nevada, blah blah blah. Now I wonder what the Nevada State Clearinghouse got for you. Think about that. They got a clearinghouse. Just imagine what they're clearing. Gotta be land. Public land policy, statute land policy. I just started skimming over this while we was watching that video, and they really breaking it down. The Nevada Planning Guide provides information for professional planners, citizen planners. See, they don't even lock you out. We got to start doing some of the stuff we could do. Citizen planners and elected officials on how planning works in Nevada. This guide includes information on master plans, implementation strategies, that is zoning and subdivision regulations, fiscal tools, and legal issues. Oh my gosh, we're going to have it popping. Dang. I'm getting a call from my man from Poland, but I can't take their call right now. Let me see. Nevada, in addition, this guide provides practical advice on the Nevada open meeting law and ethics. The Nevada Planning Guide also includes commonly used acronyms as well as the Nevada Planning Glossary. Damn, is they serious? All right, let me see. Now, what is planning? From the earliest days, the city and regional planning profession has been focused on addressing existing and future issues in a community through the development of plans. So we need to develop some plans to address the existing and future issues in our community. Come on, man, they're telling you what to do. While many issues have changed over the decades, the planning process remains grounded in the use of data, public input, and development of specific recommendations in the form of goals, policies, strategies to address these issues. We got that. We got goals. We can talk about policies. We got strategies, all to address the issues, the future and existing issues of the Black community in America. The analytical process allows a planner to look at the physical, social, and economic aspect of the community. Now, I'm expanding what they mean by community, but what we're talking about is what my idea, this idea encompasses is going into areas that don't even got no community yet. They like dust, just like they did with Vegas. That's why I put Chocolate City, Las Vegas. Some gangsters got together, said, man, let's just go to the desert and do it. Now, I'm coming from the music industry, so I already know that we got a whole nother template to generate it and make it pop. And I'm going to put this out there because it's not like a secret. A solid business plan can be duplicated and scrutinized. And if anybody intends to duplicate this, then we off to the races. Like, and I ain't got to be, all I got to do is inspire somebody to say, yeah, you know what? That is kind of like a good-ass idea. So check this out. Since Chocolate City will encompass everything that you will call Black culture in America, right? Well, that will first include entertainment, all aspects of it, not just music, but eventually we're going to be encroaching upon the sports. But that's going to happen first by just having a stadium there or a stadium in the building plans. Zoning for that, so that whichever mogul want to come in and actually build that be there. But to generate the money to build this, you take the route that all independent desert music festivals took. And I know a little bit something about that. You take the route Coachella took, you take the route Burning Man took. And I even got better examples for us. Shambhala, a music event that I did last year on 600 acres of family-owned land up in Canada. They've been throwing it for about 20 years now. And since they got all the land for the festival, they built a city, but it's not the type of city you think. It's all a stoner. Everything is stoner and hippie. Like they got all kind of like, not a real city, but they have monumental buildings there. Thank you. There you go, Side 12. Now you own it. See, you secure the land and don't put nothing on it. All you gonna need, and I'm telling you, as soon as you got it popping. All you need, and then you're gonna be paying the police. Trust me, that work. That's your security. So now you just employed the whole community in an area that don't even got enough men to secure what you about to do. Now, y'all out in the middle of the desert, whatever y'all bought, all the acres, you set up 4 stages. Oh my God. Super sound systems. Now all you really need is fencing, yo. Then you start to do the plot for vendors, the plot for food, the plot for porta potties. You do the site map. But that income going into building the land that event happens on, so that event can repeat year by year, and every year somebody come back, it'll be another building. It'll be another whatever. Thank you for sharing it. Any share is good. And any critique is good too. Right? But right now, I just picked Nevada because I'm only speaking of my ambitions. And in the future, we'll get the template like this and be popping these up all over the place. You want to know why it's going to work? It's because of how the government works. So if we go to look at, let's just go to the map, right? Now I'm going to just tell you another road that I use. It is called, and don't get turned off, let me see. I'm only coming here for a particular reason. Bid for assets. Because on bid for assets, you can use this to look and see what the county trying to give away. That's that type of land in those type of areas. Now, I don't want to get to talking about the ins and outs of tax sales, but basically, it ain't like a traditional sale. You got the money, you get the deed in about 45 days. You break bread, it's yours, and you don't get the deed till about 45 days. So I wanted to look on here for a county like this, like King County. Or let's even look in El Dorado County, California, but it ain't up here for me to click. All right, here's Nye County, Nevada. Perfect, because it's in Nevada just like Vegas, right? Now, believe it or not, you getting extra game right now. You're not going to soak it up the way it's being poured on you because it's overwhelming. But what I'm showing you right now is the website where, and it's tried, true, and tested. I've purchased land on this website, multiple plots on this land website for my company and for my personal, right? It's called Bid for Assets. Now, it's showing you right here, the bids start as low as $2,400. But it ain't going to be what you're looking for. Nye County let's see where Nye County is. Nye County currently has 29 parcels for auction. Now, it'll probably be 20 years before we had our own airport or something, right? So we got to go at least an hour away from an airport. Well, let's see where Nye County is. See, that's mountainy stuff. That ain't no, I mean, I'm talking to, oh, it ain't that far from Vegas, though. It's right there. Come on, cuz. Let's take a ride to the hills up to Chocolate City. Now, let's look. So, because first you got to have the land before you can even do anything. And I'm about to show you this sneak backdoor non-traditional way to get it. What I mean by that? Well, you got to secure a loan to buy land traditionally. You don't have to do that in this process. And this is penny on the dollars, as you see. So what we will be looking for is to secure some type. Look, this current bid is starting at $4,000, but we're gonna go look and see. And it has an address. Now that's crazy. If it ever has an address, I mean, you can look at it. So we're about to go look at what they're selling for $4,000 in Nye. Look, and this is what we talking about. We want it like this. So what do I mean? It's already plotted out. Well, let me not get overexcited because there's so much to say. See, just getting one lot in something barren like this is going to do you nothing. But this lot right here, it appears this one is $4,000. So now you step into the game with some millions, and you probably got everything from this corner of East Gamebird Road down over to here, just like this person did. Let me show you. That's exactly what this developer did. If y'all think this ain't true, I'm about to show y'all my land development company that I opened up, registered, legal in California, because I got ambitions. Right? That's all this person did. He bought all of this and was like, please, I'm about to turn that into something and build hella houses. Because you can clearly see it's in the middle of nothing. And you know the government don't build the houses. You know that, right? Developers do that. So let's just say this is called the Mountain Falls Golf Club. They got water running into there because they handled that. They drew out their township. Why is it green all in here, y'all? And even got a lake in the desert. They ain't no punks. Look. But this plot over here next to them is, now I will tell you, kid you not, if you do good research, inside a bid for assets, you can find 50-acre plots, 100-acre plots. And one thing we learned from our limited research is downtown Las Vegas is 150 acres. You got to start from somewhere, right? What you don't want to do is buy no land with a land all surrounding you, got some other owner. You got to get a big plot. So they do got, now here go another plot, starting at 3,900, and it got an address. So basically, I can show you how to research this further, but we're not doing tax sales conversation. We're more or less showing people that what we be thinking ain't a reality is a reality. If I click and go into my account, it's going to show you my deeds right here on Bid for Assets. It's something called the Deed Wizard. All right. And so we know Facebook, we know Instagram, but these is good to know. So I'm going to take this address and pop it in. This is going for 3,900. See what I mean? Right in another area. Now, you got to go look at the city plans. We can look at an APN map or whatever to see exactly where the property line cut off. But it's like that. And so now let me show you another thing. It's not like Bid for Assets. All right, it's two other things you can do when you need to get land like a black man. And I'm not vilifying how all you successful black men have your life in order. I just had to learn how to wiggle. Because one thing is when I was a rapper who didn't know nothing about credit at an early age and they just gave me hella cash. Right? And then all throughout my life been getting paid with like lump sums and then got to make it stretch. I only got on the credit game dang around the metal netter time. Back, you know what I'm saying? When I start like, yo, it's more to life. And then I start learning the ins and outs of that. But I already knew how to wiggle because you got to be able to have the same thing and don't need nobody saying you ain't approved. Right? So let me show you something I learned a long time ago. I mean, it's not nothing I learned a long time ago. This is a site. Everybody knows, so a lot of people know about this site. It's called Billy Land. Anybody know about the site called Billy Land? Right now, they don't got nothing on here. I ain't looked at it in hella long. Well, they do got some land for sale, but hold on. Wow. Oh, it went straight to Kentucky. That's why. Okay. Now, Billy Land is crazy. Oh yeah, I wasn't trying to knock our people greatness. I was taking the onus of my own failures. You feel me? And I know it's brothers like me who be having to figure things out. Like, yo, I didn't did this all 100,000 times. What? But we'll talk about it. So what Billy Land does is it finds landowners, believe it or not, guess what they want to do? They do owner financing. All of these, everybody on Billy Land do owner financing. You know what owner financing is? It's the landowner ain't even tripping. You don't gotta go to no bank. Pay the deposit. The land is yours to use for what you want and keep on paying what you call it. And keep on paying. I apologize. Keep paying the note, the mortgage. Right? But they be having, let's look at this. Here's this auction. You won't even believe this, but the parcel's so small, it ain't really nothing to trip off. But you want to look at the gigantic ones. But right here, your winning bid is the down payment price of the property. That's all you got to do. Your down payment will be subtracted from the assumable balance of $14,000. Your installments is going to be $150 a month. Owner financing. All right, I know I'm going far with that, but the cats know that happens? Because what if you start looking at the plots that's 500 acres, 1,000 acres? Here go, that ain't nothing I want to see, but it's 14 acres. It's in Alaska, $1,400. So I'm getting off track, and I got another video. Let me see. But it'll kind of make it grim, but I'm gonna try to do it anyway. Oh, you know what? Last time I showed this video on YouTube, they hit me for using their content. I don't know why they did that. But you could go watch a video called Flooded Black Towns, right? And in the video called Flooded Black Towns, they talk about California City. Now, if you come to California, and I hope I'm saying California City right, I hope they didn't have like a California town. But if you hear anything about California City now, it's just going to be a run. I no disrespect to anybody live there, but it's like run down ghost town. Ish. You feel me? But if you do the history of it, supposedly, if I'm saying the right location right, it was a black, like a little black city. So just because but I do recommend you look at Billy Land, but just because every parcel that I'm looking at is like 2 or 3 acres. Here go a 19-acre one in Susanville for $1,600. Come on, man. Y'all gotta be kidding me. Let me click on this. 19 acres of somewhere up here, right? $430 a month. Susanville is where they build prisons. I mean, well, there's a prison up there, nothing else really. But again, so if we was looking at the more sizable lots, people could probably see how realistic certain things are. And if this ain't the route, I'm just throwing out different things that I know. You guys possibly know more than me. But how about Land Watch, where you can really look at the big plots, right, in America. And you can really start talking about the conversations we having. So we go to land for sale, and we're going to go straight down to 500. Since the downtown Las Vegas is 150 acres, you know once you got it popping, people going to want to build around it, and you don't want the owners around it to be able to be the ones that profit off that. You want to profit off that. So you got to think bigger than what you start and think like 100 years out. So then if downtown 150 acres, you need to be thinking at least 500 acres to 500 acres or more. I'm going to go over 500 acres. And see, I'm just looking at who got land for sale that's over 500 acres in America right now. Now we're looking at real numbers, but you got to be bold enough to have real ambitions. And never be worried about not having the money. That's sucker stuff. You got to know that the idea is worth the money, and wise people going to see that, and the money come out the clear sky. The money come out the clear blue whenever you got a good idea. Now, I don't know about y'all, but what is this? Only 3 million? Y'all got to stop playing. So this is 750 acres, 748 acres in Redding, California. Right? I know a lot of it must be, yeah, look, there you go. Oh, yeah, y'all tearing that out. Y'all getting them trees knocked down in the first 5 years. Get that thing rezoned. Oh, man. I mean, again, allow me to just imagine and think, don't be tripping. This is how things are brought to fruition. So I'm going to go back to, I was reading from the planning documents to show how realistic this is. They started going in. While many issues have changed over the decade, the planning process remains grounded in the use of data, public input, the development of specific recommendations in the form of goals, policies, strategies to address these issues. The analytical process allows a planner to look at the physical, social, and economic aspects of the community. The planning process is used different kinds of planning, huh? They messed that up. The planning process is used different kinds of plans, such as master plans, neighborhood plans, or regional plans. To be effective, plans must be monitored and updated to reflect new and changing priorities for the community. The purpose of planning is to develop and implement strategies that create better neighborhoods and communities. Can we do that? Can the church say yes, man? God, we definitely could do that. If you are planning in Nevada, the first state planning laws were adopted in 1921. Nevada revised status, whatever, 268-100 through 268-222 allow communities to establish planning commissions. We got to establish a planning commission. In 1924, NRS was amended to allow cities to adopt zoning regulations. Today's main planning enabling laws for Nevada's were adopted by the state's legislature in 1941, 1947, and are contacted in the NRS and blah, 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 blah. In 2013, the state planning laws were amended again when the Nevada legislature revised the requirements for master plans and added a new requirement for above ground utility plans. Now, I don't know. I ain't gonna read it all, but people didn't think that you could be a citizen planner and step to the state or whoever you step into the planning commission with your master plan elements showing how this would be good for a community that don't even got nobody there because it's just all dust and dirt. I mean, they got the whole 75-page guide for us. This was getting me juiced right here, too. Chapter 1, Master Plans in Nevada. A master plan, a comprehensive plan, is an official public document adopted by a governing body as a guide to decisions about the physical development of a governed area. The area includes the master plan can be a city, a county, or a region. The master plan defines current issues and needs of the community based on research, analysis, extensive public unit, and set forth goals, policies, and actions to address issues. Now it's breaking it down. The plan has four main aspects. It is comprehensive, encompasses all portions of areas under consideration and all facets of the community that will be impacted by physical development. It should address current issues in community and provide strategies to help solve problems in the community, such as stormwater management and affordable housing. All of this. The plan is general and it summarizes goals, but does not indicate specific locations or detailed regulations necessary to achieve the goals. Policies are also included, but only as directions, not as laws. So you can write out your city policies and everything. Municipalities. It is long-range setting goals for the set period, commonly 20 years, looking forward. So this will be a lot of now let me keep it a buck. The only 20-year plan I've been involved with so far is rapping. If you had a 20-year plan, it's good because that means you possibly had a job that you stayed at for 20 years or a career or a business or something that you had popping for 20 years. One of the longest plans that I did was 7 or 8 years. And even after all that, I've seen adversity. So right here, it would be wonderful to even talk to other black men, women about a 20-year plan. Just imagine that. You know you ain't never did it. Stop fronting. Imagine sitting there being like, yeah, okay, so if this works and this is working out cool, by year 15, this should be a reality. God damn, please. I mean, stuff like that sounds juvenile fun to me. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like playing some hoop with your partners at 17. I would get the same shot of dopamine from my natural feel-good receptors or whatever from doing that. If we was really into it and producing documents. Now it says to be effective, the master plan should include specific actions to achieve the goals adopted for each element in the plan. Man, I got all that in my head. Y'all don't got each and every step and element for a black city. See, here's the thing. You're going to just copy over any other city and then add your economical elements. Feel what I'm saying? So it's not like you're going to be like, on this street, a green light means hit donuts. No, a green light still a green light. A red light still a red light. A parking ticket still a parking ticket. The feds are still the feds. But Popo might be different, though. Feel me? Because we got control over that. So you're not reinventing the wheel. You're injecting the economical elements that will show anybody who reads the plan, oh, this is $1 billion. Just like Vegas. How much did Vegas turn out to be? I feel like asking ChatGPT, how much money has Vegas produced to this date? Somebody want to guess in the chat? I'm about to ask ChatGPT. Y'all can ask it too, then you're going to have the answer. But guess in the chat, how much money, let me see, how? I'm just asking. It's giving me this long ass record. The gambling revenue for Las Vegas Strip hit a record of $8 billion. That's just gambling. And that was in 2022. So take every year they've been there, they've been getting close to $1 billion just off the gambling. Now, obviously, they're going to have a big, unless y'all disagree, they're going to have a lot to do with Chocolate City. Why not? You already need somebody to build everything. Like, come on now. So what they going to be, okay, this is what I mean. We in control. So we know where we going to zone for the damn casinos. Right? And then you're going to be like, okay, it's zoned over there for casinos, and this how many people going to be coming here. Now, how I know that? Because we already throwing the hottest music festivals in America. Because we don't need monetary commitment from nobody, bruh. We could do that. Trust this out. All you need is barter commitments. It sound funny, huh? If an artist is down with it, they can contribute a show. They don't even have to contribute no paper. And when it's built up, they going to have a parcel for those contributions. So you trying to tell me which artist ain't going to do that? I don't know. I'm about to open up the chat. I be getting too juiced by myself and don't know about it. I mean, I wonder why it sounds like an impossibility to some people. Oh, I wasn't finished with Vegas, by the way. But if anybody willing to talk about these conversations, no matter whether you are a lot more serious than me and you know the real deal of why this couldn't happen, or are you just willing to imagine and want a workshop or whatever? Because I'm a little bit of both. I know it's a reality, but I definitely know that the majority of the things that I manifest,
recording in progress,
they come out of my imagination. Right?
Recording stopped.
Now, I'm about to just share this just to see. So this could be up there, then I'm going to continue doing my thing. Yeah, they got to have made over $1 trillion since they've been involved. $1 trillion then ran through Vegas easy. Now, see, when you start reading information like this, it becomes a less of a, he can't do that, and more of and we start to learn is more of anyone who follows, not anyone. I really don't think it's like hundreds of these getting rejected throughout America. You see new developments go up in new unincorporated areas every day. So I don't think it's as easy as a snap of a finger, but you got to understand how America works. If there is some city councilman or some councilman who's over a district that has a population of like 20 people out in the desert, and you come to him with a plan like that, they're going to be behind it. I don't see why they wouldn't. And it's something that's one they can't do. Well, they could just get other African Americans to do that, but that's not a problem. It's not about it being yours. It's about it being a reality. Right? I shared the link if anybody want to build, but I'm about to keep on getting more just little details on planning in Nevada. So the Nevada revised status requires communities to adopt a master plan when a planning commission has been established. Planning commissions of several members are mandated for counties that have up to more than 40,000 people or cities with more than 25,000. So basically, you're going to target a county with less than 40,000 people. Trust me, you got to do it all right. Many communities do not meet the NRS threshold for a planning commission, but still have master plans, such as the city of West Wendover. All right? So West Wendover did it. The difference is that all functions of the planning commissions are handled by a governing body. In the city of West Wendover, for example, the city council acts as the planning commission. But anyway, this could be read in detail when it was about that. But any little thing I see, I want to just read. The housing element. The housing element must include 8 components, including an inventory of housing conditions, a determination of present and prospective needs for affordable housing, and a plan for maintaining the development and developing affordable housing to meet the housing needs of the community for at least 5 years. So it's definitely talking about building like that. Land use element. The land use element must include the land use. I'm just about to look for some terms in here. It said land use that includes the inventory and classification of types of natural land and of existing land covers of uses. The land use element may include plans or policies regarding the acquisition or use of federal land. All right. Pan-African Giants. What's up? For any county with a population greater than 700,000, the land use element must include a rural neighborhood preservation plan. What's up with James? Once you in, then you in. So when do it say you can't do this? Guess what word I'm about to look up in this document? Gambling. Gambling. Do they speak on that? They don't even speak on gambling. Because you know you could do that. That's later. That's for your so what was some—
Hold on a second, Smash. I'm trying to mute the shop on the other end.
It's all good.
All right, what's happening with you?
Nothing, just pushing the envelope on what we willing to think about and discuss. What's up with you?
Oh, nothing, man. Just sliding through, just tripping on a couple of things that happened last night. That
I was
wild.
listening to that show. We were talking about it. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But the land the land use element must include a land use plan that includes inventory. I read that. Public facilities and a servant element. The public facilities and service element must include an economic plan to support the implementation of the element, a population plan, an above ground utility plan, a plan for utilities, and a school facility plan. Y'all think that's too many plans for us to come up with? If you want something to run a nation, first, don't you got to prove you can run a city? Before you can run a city, you got to prove you can run what? An organization? Or what? Before you can run an organization, you got to at least run a family, right? Like, we got to prove somehow some leadership or something. Running a family proves good leadership. It's hard. A lot of people trying to go in different directions. You got to, you got to run that thing. What's up with Joey?
What's up, man?
Not looking at how real it would be to submit some plans for a black city. I mean, you ain't gonna say this, huh?
Really going this chocolate city route. How far gonna take?
Man, you be chiming in with the half mic. Your mic don't got no. We can't even hear you.
You not hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now, but it's choppy. You probably have to
Yeah.
sit in a. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down. I was asking. I said, when you're going with this city flag,
Oh,
how far we should go with the entertainment?
I think that the idea is a not rather unique, but a genuine one that could really go somewhere. I do think America has space and land for a central hub for African American culture, and to the magnitude of Las Vegas. No smaller, bigger, and possibly even rivaling Las Vegas. I know for a fact if that was established in America, it'll be an issue. Not a bad issue. I'm saying it'll be generating funds. It'll be helping. It'll be doing so much good things, dude. And so I definitely don't think I have any reason to like not talk about the idea.
Yeah,
Smash. Let me
what
say.
I'm saying, if we go in here with this idea, how far are we going with it in terms of like the entertainment and like the design? Where are we going with that?
How far are you going with it?
And so, like, if you want to take it Kemetic, if you want to take it West African,
Oh no,
if you want
100%.
to,
Well, just
if
to
you
be
want to make
clear,
it cultural.
so just to be clear, it's a hub for African American culture. And anybody who wants to add on to that or contribute to that, that's wonderful. You see what I'm saying? In any regard. Like, yes, we love Caribbean music and African American culture. I grew up going to the reggae club, so you know it's gonna be a little bit of everything there. But just what we call African American culture, from the soul food, you know what I'm saying? Even to, and I don't know, some people might not even feel it, but the black church got to be heavily involved in building something like that. I know people like, but you
Yeah,
not.
that's me. That's me.
Oh, see,
Here I am, right here. I'm right there. I am.
But now you
right
got to
there,
be
man.
more
I'm
realistic.
right on the scene.
So
You know what I'm saying?
let me say something. Imagine a black city in America that excludes the black church. So you really creating problems and not getting money for your movement that you built from a whole big segment of the population because of some underlying reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Let me say, again, we were just having this conversation last night. I don't think that any way of us upholding the status quo is going to be beneficial for us. At some point in time, we're going to have to start moving towards our truth. You know what I mean? So I know that we're the minority right now, but the goal is for us to all be historically, as many as possible, to have this type of history or historical analysis for our people, because that's what has us confused. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So that, I ain't saying that, I'm not talking about being disrespectful to them, but my goal, or hopefully the goal of us as a people, is to be on the right side of history on all aspects. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But I'm not the finances that the black church could bring into something like that. That's something to think about.
Well,
but at what expense do you do that? And you know what I'm saying?
No, it's not necessarily contributions from the black church that you're looking for. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a little bit different. But the amount of the members of our community that are members of the black church need to be a part of it. Now, just think about it. They will, as consumers, because that is our standard place in society anyway. So what I mean is, if you set it up with whatever the ambitions are, it's just simply to have a hub for black entertainment, as far as I'm concerned. Not entertainment, but culture. But say you set it up with them ambitions, what's gonna stop, somebody from throwing a gospel music festival at one of our venues? Nothing.
Nothing. There wouldn't be nothing that
Can I
because it's all
interject for a second?
Exactly. What's up? What's up with that good guy?
Yo, I was just piece to the panel. I was just on a train coming home from work. The young black lady, she was writing down notes in her Bible and all that. And then you having this conversation to say that I'm saying this to say, I don't think a lot of black people really left the church like that. I don't think the numbers is that detrimental where it won't help if you do have a black city. You need religion, and black people flock to it like everybody else. So I don't see nothing wrong with religion being in that Black Sea Plain.
Well, if we thinking like a city, I mean, you know, they'll eventually, like, it ain't like you like, here's a church, I'm giving it out. What I'm saying is eventually somebody gonna buy something and it's gonna be a pastor who see what you're seeing. But not only that, so if we was thinking about land plots, are you saying that who can't buy what? Normally it's just zoning that indicates that. Meaning if you got it zoned for car dealerships, then a restaurant can't buy that plot. Because it ain't zoned for that unless they can buy it, but they won't be able to manage their business there because it ain't zoned for that. So you saying is there's certain things that like put it this way, every city in America don't got zoning. Not every city, but y'all know what I mean. There's no zoning for gambling in majority of the cities. Now some of them say, okay, you could do it a little bit in the airport, you could do it on the river. Now, I'm saying, what would y'all want zoned out of a black city?
Man, see what I'm saying, Smash? This shit is difficult.
Nah, it's easy.
No, it ain't.
Why would you zone anything out?
Well, based on current law, you probably, based on current American law, you probably couldn't zone out anything.
No, you can. You definitely, that's how it is. Yeah. So, for instance, there's no zone for gambling in Oakland, California.
Yeah, that's true.
There is one little car club, and they give them that one little thing. So they zone that out of all of our counties, and they allow it in certain places. It's like he said, liquor stores. Look, what if you zoned out little corner liquor stores? Like, that can't happen. That's a good-ass idea. You got to go to Beverage and More or something. You're not about to do the standing in front of the liquor store in Chocolate City.
So let me ask, have you looked off into what 50 Cent doing? Because, man, I'm telling you, this sounds very similar to what he's just done.
Oh, man, well, come on. Let's talk about it. Is there any way that we could get some information on what he's done?
Man, this brother then went to Shreveport, Louisiana, and bought up half the city.
Told you.
And he's turning it into an entertainment supposed capital. Now, I don't know what all he's going to be doing, but I'm telling you, man.
So he's going to make it to another Atlanta?
He's making it to an entertainment capital. He's building studios, for music and film.
Yeah,
man,
so
I'm telling you, you
that's
gotta
wonderful.
Look into this.
Let's look into it because
everything you saying is sound like what 50 doing.
So we might have to buy some land around Shreveport, basically,
and check it out.
Wherever 50 land stop, then you buy something right outside of that, and you expand it.
Check it out, Smash. Shreveport is like 41% African American. So it's already got a predominant African American population, is what I'm saying. The population of Shreveport is like 41% African American.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think the population of the black city we talk about in Vegas, what you think the population of African Americans gonna be or should be?
I wouldn't know. Because you're gonna be moved. Well, based on it being that type of a city, I would assume that mostly African Americans would be moving there, right?
I hope so. But you know, some more people gonna move there too.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's exclusive to just African American, but I was just talking about it should be probably predominant, right?
Oh, what? If you got a chocolate city and it ain't really a chocolate city, then it's fake.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it
basically,
predominant. I don't know what the number would be exact, but should be a predominant, from what I'm thinking, a predominantly black.
About 41. That's not predominantly.
No, I'm talking about 51. Over 51.
Yeah,
over
okay,
51.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how math works.
DQ, what's up? DQ said he moved his whole media production to Shreveport. Now,
see that the little homie, he ahead of the curve. He paying attention. Man, I got some little brothers here in Fort Worth. He just graduated from being able to do film and like being in the movie on a movie set. And I told him, I said, man, you need to go check out what 50 doing, because we ain't nothing but about 30. Well, I don't know how many miles, but we're about an hour and a half away from Shreveport.
No, I only asked how predominantly black, because when you go to Vegas, is it predominantly Italian or predominantly gangster? But they getting all the money. whoever getting the money is you don't just see them like that. That's all I was saying. But yeah, I agree with you, tall guy. Hey, Rue. It is because it's just gonna be like that.
Yeah, but Brother Reggie, his Black City plan. So we all kind of on the same page with thinking about, but our forebears, they've already done some of this stuff prior, and then it seemed like we lost this type of ambition. You know what I mean? Because my great grandfather and his brothers, they bought like 175 acres of land, and when it's still in our family today in Crockett, Texas.
Okay.
And we can't sell it. It's like some kind of way they set it up to where we can never sell it.
Yeah. They could write it in the will to say that you can't sell it.
Excuse me?
They could write it in your will to say that you can't sell it.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Man, you can keep going.
And what happened was how we even found out about the land was when they started to do the fracking here in Texas, they contacted us because everybody was going to get a portion of that contract that they wanted to do going across our family land. So that's how we found out about it. But it's crazy. Like that, they were already acquiring land fresh out of slavery. That was the thing.
You didn't know about
your
that?
family can't do nothing with the land besides.
Yes, we can do something with the land. We just can't sell it. Like somebody can go and build a home on it, or something like that. We could probably build.
And then you charge them rent and stuff like that.
Yeah. We could do that, but we can't just sell it. Is what however they set it up.
Yeah.
But it was him and his 5 brothers. And back in the day, our people used to have like 10 kids at a time. So 5 of his brothers and him, they bought 175 acres. So let me say, how much did you say Vegas was? Smash?
150.
So we got enough to be. Right, I need to go holler at the family and tell the Smash got an idea. You know what I'm saying? We got enough right there to get it cracking right there. We got 155 acres of land right in Crockett, Texas, right there, bro.
But if they fracking on your land, then you have to find
out.
But
they fracking all over Texas, that good guy. So, that's just a part of it. It ain't going to be all over 175. It's not going to be over the whole 100. They just got a well somewhere set up over there. Or they might have dug something underground to where they just...
So fracking is the worst way of getting oil out of the...
Yeah, I know that. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I didn't do
that.
No.
He's asking what it is.
Oh, okay.
Hey, so look, if they approve you, do they give you a budget? Oh, what if that happened? Like, okay, your town approved, y'all got $2 million to run.
They're gonna have to give you something government funds to help keep it going.
How'd that go? That's crazy,
yeah. That's what I was asking, Smash. So all this FanDuel going around and all this, they didn't allow gambling in California and all that?
It's a little bit. On Indian reservations. I got a joke with that though. And I ain't even moving on it. So one of y'all move on this joke I throw out for you, just tie me in. Because really nobody has made a connection between the Indian nations that got gambling rights and the black community that got a lock on entertainment. So they not pulling numbers at their casinos because they ain't got nobody in there rapping or nothing. You know what I'm saying? They be doing residencies in Vegas. And so it's a whole line to start up being that agent who hooks up the residencies for the Indian reservations.
And so they got gambling on that too, right?
Yeah, they got gambling.
So bam, so everything you saying make perfect sense. See, you be thinking, man. So bam, they'll say California. Okay, it's a lot of good California artists out there. So if you just book all of like Too Short, you know what I'm saying, and just at a reservation out there, that's gonna blow.
Quick, and they gonna pay top dollar. But like I said, it's 36 people listening, and if I put a vibe out there, if somebody move, I don't be tripping because helping, that's a way to help. That's a joke for somebody. I'm like, what? Please, you go. And then what it is cats don't know how to really go talk business, and that's not a problem. But you got to understand when you got a wonderful idea, just being yourself is enough. They going to look and see that spit coming out your mouth and going to be like, damn, they going to start thinking about hundreds of thousands. Like, man, that dude said he know every artist in California and he could get them on in here doing a show for whenever and guarantee like 1,000 people in our casino, they gonna be willing to gamble. Come on now, that's a no-brainer.
Right. Yeah, that's a good idea because we got something like that. Now we don't have gambling here in Texas, but we do have it around the surrounding states like Oklahoma. So if to say the Indian reservations in Oklahoma were to get a lot of the Texas artists to come up there and perform, that could draw a lot. See, I'm just saying. I'm just
cracking.
Yeah, but see, I'm just thinking.
Think about it though, James. So if y'all had to ride out,
hip hop is selling. It's one of the. It's the number one entertainment as far as music in the world right now. Right? Am I making that up? As far as hip hop, its influence on the world. I seen somebody brought out a Chinese dude rapping the other day. It was crazy. I think it was Megan Thee Stallion. It was Megan Thee Stallion. She brought out a Chinese dude. He was rapping.
Of course,
everywhere. China, Japan, Saudi Arabia, everywhere. India, everywhere. I even see they had an Indian version of Hit 'Em Up. I don't know if that's a real thing. You ever heard that, Jay?
Nah. He said Hit 'Em Up.
Yeah, Indian version of Hit 'Em Up.
Yeah, so yeah, it's very marketable, and then that being that's your profession. Yeah, I could see how you could think you could foresee that being something that you could do outside the box with those Indian reservations to kind of help them and help ourselves, right? It's just like really just two tribes coming together for economic purposes.
But do we think them Indians?
This is business. They know hip hop is something that could draw some people in.
Man, they telling you how to plan a city all the way, bruh. I mean, if we can't do our homework, we tripping. They tell you how to do it. So what? Get denied. I mean, wouldn't it be so proud to complete this plan and just at least get denied? Like, all right, we got denied. Oh, I don't even care. I'll be hella happy. They really looked at it though. And then they tell you, y'all didn't do this, y'all didn't do this, y'all didn't do this. Cool, now we know what we got to do. And we got a 20-year plan. Come on now, you ain't even tripping.
Yeah, you got to have some finance to have a plan like that too. So that would take a whole conglomerate of people with the same mission. You got to get that.
But if we are consumers, James, the amount of money we spend on the Gucci, the Fendi, the Prada, and all of those things, if 6 or 7 of us take that money and put that into the pot, we could buy something with it.
Right.
The amount of sneakers we be buying all the time.
So I just told you my five people in my family did it, so it's possible.
Yeah. So the thing is, and trying to learn how to market to my own people, I start to learn that we like things that are. We will put our money towards things, but normally they have to appear bigger than us. They got to be moving at a certain rate. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that we subconsciously buy into. Say you're not really buying into nothing that you appear smaller than you, or you know what I'm saying. But like if it's say you in one tax bracket and what you're dealing with is in another tax bracket, that a lot of the times it entices us to invest in it. Even when you put shoe prices out of our reach, it make you want the shoes more than the shoes that's in your reach.
But you know, these type of agendas we've done this before. Now, I know you remember just recently, we had a dream of having a Pan-African school, right? And everybody got behind that movement to the point of 1 million plus. And then just nothing happened, right? So we just gotta be, that kind of blow air out of any type of stuff like what you talking about.
Oh, well, see,
because when we start doing stuff like that and then people fail, that leave a sour taste in our mouth.
Well, you know what? I gotta be honest. Failure is just a part of real business. Now, there's certain things you shouldn't be able to fail at. Like you shouldn't be able to, like if you're saying you got $1 million and You got that money and you needed less than that when you asked for it, and now you still ain't manifesting nothing. We know something is funny there.
Right.
But I mean, you know. So what you try to do is set things up so that you can have and predict less failures.
Correct.
So, for instance, land acquisition, as far as America is concerned, there is really not too much failure in that. Now, if you have a plan for people to independently pursue these goals, but then just target the same area, that way everyone is protected. You're not like putting your money in your pot. Everybody just buying land around each other. You see what I'm saying? And whatever particular area is targeted, then people could keep their personal ambitions
Yeah.
however it works. You can be, I'm selling my
So
piece.
if you don't trust,
Yeah, you say I'm selling mine, or I'm gonna build this on mine, or whatever. But another thing is if the situation involves trust, then it doesn't have a solid business plan. Because anytime somebody asks you to trust them, you should notice that that's not really business you're doing.
Correct.
Business got checks and balances for everything, you know what I'm saying? So as soon as
Mm-hmm.
they be like, trust me, dude, I'm gonna say, oh, you like, nah, that ain't how that
We got to
works.
write this contract.
Yeah, normally I get a tracking number. You talking about trust you sent it. You know what I'm saying? And so but basically, I don't think nothing will work like that if it's any type of trust involved. Now, how do you set up things like that where it ain't trust involved in the regards that I just said? Chinese people ain't got to trust their Chinese neighbor in order to build Chinatown. They just target an area. They got locks on their doors too from each other. You know what I'm saying? But they targeted an area and said we gonna succeed, and whenever anything open up in this area, we gonna be the first buyers in line. You know what I'm saying? And then they managed to do that all over America.
Yeah, and I've witnessed this right here where I'm at, right up the street in Arlington. Man, these people have bought a certain part of the city and they are building it up right now. It look almost. I'm gonna take a picture of it one day. It looked like just like they in China.
So you can't do. It's two ways. You can do city plans. Nevada, they just said up here, Nevada got hella public land that you could try to submit something for, but that probably ain't as useful. Obviously, private land, it's your land. And so it's going to be easier to try to say, okay, I want to make this private land I got public and turn it into a township. So now you're contributing something to the state. Your land is going to be public. It seemed like, I mean, you know, I don't trust me, y'all. Let me go and show y'all something about. Y'all don't remember when they had the standoff between the white dudes up in Wyoming who had bought their land on some, but they was on some cultist type stuff. And the feds was trying to come in and they wouldn't let them in and they were standing off. You don't remember that?
I'm not sure.
Well, it's probably not the best example. It shouldn't even probably be referenced in a video like this that I'm talking about something good like this. But I was giving an example of people who bought a large amounts of land in the unoccupied areas and built like their own township. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's possible. Definitely. It's probably being done more often than most of us know.
Well, what's the newest cities in America? I need to find out all that stuff. How did the newest cities in America just pop up? You know,
Was that you showing us this a young white guy that bought a town in Texas?
Yep, he bought a whole town, and there was another white lady who's the only person in her.
Yeah, that's right.
And she get
it's
paid.
Possible.
She get paid by the government. She the city manager. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, hold on.
Yeah, so we could do that, but you know, then you got to, you know, have the infrastructure for people to be able to move there because that place we was looking at kind of looked run down.
Oh no, that's what you want. You want to start the
when you buy it, that's
you
what
want to start the most run down and undeveloped as you can, because then you got more rights to do whatever. You start.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, Smash. What you talking about? I want you to look into what 50 got going on.
I'm going to look into that.
That'd be good for you.
Peace to Brandon. What's up?
Oh, nothing much. The example of what you're talking about, I live in Atlanta. So in Atlanta, you got South Fulton that became a city in 2017 and is 90% Black or African American. And on the flip side, you have Buckhead, which is majority white, and they're trying to separate from Atlanta and become their own city.
Oh, so the first one you cited, 2017, is called what? I'm gonna pull it up.
South Fulton,
South Fulton.
yeah, became an incorporated city in 2017.
And what was it before that?
Well, they pulled from different areas in Fulton County to become their own city,
Oh, that's off the
or
hook.
they pulled from different parts of that to become their own area or city. What you
2017.
saying? Yeah, what you're saying is very feasible to do. I think that the first thing we should do is re-gentrify Black communities because here in Atlanta, you have the whole west side of Atlanta from Bankhead, Simpson Road, and all of that that's being bought up by commercial real estate. And what they're doing with it is they're making it increasingly hard to rent because they're raising the price of renting. They're raising the price of renting, so they're making it harder to rent because they're owning the property. They're making it harder to buy as well. So I think like areas like that are impoverished, we should start moving back to those areas. But a lot of our people got a white ice is colder mentality where we'll move out of the areas
So
and then just let it go.
are you any place close to Fulton? Do you know anything about their city officials? It would be good if we could find out what was their process. Did somebody do what we talking about and draw out the city plan and submit it to the county? 'Cause if we could get an interview, oh, that'd be ridiculous. I'm gonna do my own research. But are you close to them like that?
Well, I mean, I live in Atlanta, so I live in Metro Atlanta. To be
Okay.
specific, I live in Clayton County, which is South Side, College Park, Riverdale, near the airport. And so they're actually not too far off from where I'm at, but I'm not sure about what the process was for them to do that. I do know that they put it to a vote though, because they've been trying to do the same thing with Buckhead for years now, and they keep getting it shut down. Atlanta's not going to let Buckhead separate because Buckhead has Lenox Mall. There's some of the more well, a lot of those strip clubs did close down, but a lot of the taxpayer dollars or the higher income taxpayer dollars are in Buckhead. So they're not going to let Buckhead leave Atlanta. That's just not going
So
to happen.
I'm so happy you was watching this show because you just gave me a 2017 example of things that
I tune in just about every single day.
I appreciate that. Of things
Yeah.
that we been talking about for years as if they in the cosmos and it ain't a reality. Shout out to brother Reggie for us first putting us in that direction. But even further, people ask, why you want to study ancient Egypt, right? And then we study ancient Kemet and we come to our own conclusions that Kemet was a black city. You see what I'm saying? And so now these ambitions is just inside of me naturally. Just because I know that and I don't expect others to say, yeah, that's my path too. But I can, if you want to call it a testimony, like, subconsciously the recollection and noticing, oh, okay, then that's how that was. And then that's how that can be. It's hard to show how studying history affects you, but I'll
Yeah,
give some of the credit
I
to that.
agree. And right now it's a land grab, like I said, in Metro Atlanta. You have a lot of corporations and stuff coming in and trying to buy real estate, especially on the west side. I used to be a medic in one of the EMS companies I worked for. The owner, they were younger black people like myself. And the wife in particular, she owned a house that was near where the old Brave Stadium used to be. And every week she gets calls for people making $500,000 to $1 million offers for the house that her grandmother left her. She doesn't want to sell it for nostalgic purposes. I think she shouldn't sell it anyway. But her husband is more like, let's hear what they're talking about. I don't know, money talks. But that just goes to show, like, and then a friend of mine, his father bought their house for maybe $20,000, $30,000 tops back in the '80s, and now that house is worth $500,000. And he's down the street from the Falcons Benz Stadium, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So right now, if you have the money and ability to, especially if you live in Atlanta, you may not want to live in some of those areas because they seem impoverished and stuff like that. But if you don't buy them up, someone else will. The West End Mall, some corporation just bought the West End Mall up, and they're going to develop it into, I don't know what they're going to develop it into, but they've begun the process of gentrifying the area, putting up condos. You got a brand new police precinct put in the area. And it's not going to be long before you start seeing a Whole Foods and Starbucks and everything else that come along with it. It's just, I think with us, we need to get in on the ground floor before somebody else do. Instead of abandoning our predominantly Black neighborhoods, we have to stay there and we have to be the ones to build them up while pulling in from the other people's economy, because you have to have some kind of infrastructure that's going to consistently fund the economy of any community before we can get to a point that's self-sustainable. I know Atlanta's kind of different because of the high African American community. You can just throw stone in any direction and you're gonna have a Black business, so it almost don't matter as much. But you have other areas like Mississippi where African Americans make up the majority of the state, but they don't control the politics because they're scattered and they have to deal with redlining. So they can kind of pull their communities and their populations together. They can accomplish what you're talking about, and they can have a better outcome than what we're having in Atlanta.
So I'm definitely with, and even I'm glad to hear you say re-gentrify. Just the terminology that is, yeah, we got to do that. But what I need to do, like before it's over, I need to really be able to move through the society with like some hundreds of millions or some millions, so that when we have suggestions like that, we can take effective action. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay,
Right.
because if we don't, I mean, if we say, okay, I could get a house here, you can get a house there, and so I mean, even at this age, it seemed like it got to be. I'm not saying it got to be something, because I see the economic plan behind what we have in a chocolate city being just that. Like the owners who secured that land and brought that ambition forward brought fruit to everybody, because the owners of the land who bubbling is not necessarily the building that's on top of it. You just had a plan that raised the property value of some desert dirt bushes. You know what I'm saying? And so eventually, if it was like a 20-year plan, I think the key people who executed that and made that be a possibility would be able to say, they gentrifying. What? I got 20 billion. So right now we about to put 2 billion just to buying houses for Black people. But until we can make any moves out of the hundreds of thousands column, it'd be hard to make some impact. And I know what I'm saying ain't necessarily true, because our funds collectively, they total a lot. But that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
So what my original idea was, and I got laughed out of the water for this, I worked with a medic that I forgot what they call them. You know, the first families of the church, they usually been at the church for a long time, can sit down and actually talk to the bishop or whoever the pastor is of the church. Well, this guy, he was one of those. And I'm not in the church, so I don't really know what they're called. But his family was one of those type of first families, and he had you know, he could easily get an audience with Eddie Bishop Long. And we all know how his situation went down. But I used him as an example because, you know, he had that immediate connection to the guy that owned the church and was collecting the money in the church. And I said to him one day, I said, well, if you have a church, why don't you guys set up an in-house type of banking and loan system within the church? So what it would do is you will find members of the congregation who have decent credit, and you lock them into a contract. Either they come to you with a business plan, or y'all create different kind of businesses that y'all community might need. And then you allow them to own that business, and then they pay back the loan at a rate of maybe 15 to 20% would be the interest rate that they would pay back on the loan. And then once the loan is paid off completely, they would still give the church 10%, which is like the tithes and offerings that they always ask for the church. But then that would be self-sustaining, because that 10% can go back into the fund to help the next member of the congregation start a business. And it's self-sustaining that way, because the people in the church are going to be the first proprietors of the business, as well as the first patrons of the business. So the dollars would keep cycling itself throughout that church. And if that is successful within one church, the church is also seeing that, hey, we're making money off of this. So that would get other churches more involved and said, well, maybe we need to copy this business plan and do the same thing. And he laughed at me when I told him that, and he said, hey, we got soup kitchens. That's enough to help. But I was just saying, like, man, that if y'all can implement something like that, you can empower your own congregation, and that will bring more money into your church.
That's interesting.
Well, that's kind of actually seem like TD Jakes. He kind of has a setup like that here in Dallas, where he has nursing homes that they bought land, they built housing, they got a credit union. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but yeah, they have a bunch of that stuff here, and he has a very big congregation down here. I don't know if y'all know about.
But the black church is black people, though. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
he got this everything that Brandon is talking about. TD Jackson already put that in effect.
My goal ain't to make everybody think and believe like me. I do wish once everything is set up that we can implement some of this in our schools and stuff. But ultimate goal is to make sure people ain't got no problems and no plight. I mean, these unrealistic problems and plight that's caused, and I don't want to use the word oppression, but I have to. You know what I'm saying? Because now that make you roll your eyes like oppression. Oh my gosh. But just by the uneven playing field, I should say, for a better choice of words. If everybody was cool, didn't have no threat of the police, had an economic basis, would it matter that everybody had different spiritual principles?
Honestly, I don't think it matters. I think we got to learn how to agree to disagree, because you're not going to be able to sway everybody to your side without force. And there's no need to even do that. That's why I was saying the other day on your show, if you look at our own history and the things we've done in this country, you take the Free African Society and you notice that maybe Richard Allen might have been AME and I can't remember the other guy's name, but the other guy was a Quaker, who was a black Quaker, but they set aside their personal religious beliefs to say, okay, well, we need to empower our community, help free more of our brothers. And then the free communities that we do have, we need to create mutual aid societies to be able to help us not only bury our dead, but to also help out the different families that are in need in these communities. And we can do the same thing. You know, when we look at things like Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma wasn't the only one. There was plenty of them around the country, and they lived in a time period where they had to worry about someone bombing them or burning them down. We don't really quite have that same threat. So it'll be, to me, a lot easier for us to keep it sustainable. Now, to get it started up will be totally different. Like you said, you got to get everybody in the same mindset to want to do it. But if you take most of these communities where we make up a good majority, it wouldn't be hard for us to carve out a section. It's always been a mystery to me why you have a lot of Hebrew Israelite groups. Like I live down the street from IUIC. I don't know if they call it a church or camp or whatever they call it. And I'm like, I don't know. Y'all are coming from different parts of Atlanta to meet here. Why don't y'all just like carve out a part of the community, buy homes, and y'all live together? Same thing with Nation of Islam or any other group. Like I know, I think we do have like an Ephah temple here somewhere out in the rural area, but why not put that more closer to where someone could be able to get back and forth to work and not have to travel as far? And then you can attract more people, like-minded people to your part of the community. And like I said, if we can just agree to disagree, we can worry about fighting each other later. Let's just do what we got to do now and come together and build. Because when you look at different races, they don't all agree on denomination or religion. When you look at white people, some of them are Irish. I mean, some of them are Catholic, some of them are Baptist, some of them are Protestant, but they can still come together and sit that aside and do what they need to do. You look at most countries that are almost homogenous as far as like racially, they'll still have different religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs, but regardless of whatever infighting they have, they can set those things aside and then do what they need to do. And we have to be the same way. Like, I don't care because I'm not Christian or I'm not Hebrew and I'm not Muslim. I don't care what you are. I adhere to more African spiritual beliefs, but I don't care. A helping hand is a helping hand. Doesn't matter if it's clean or dirty. But we just got to get done what we need to get done, and we can worry about the details later.
That's right. Where you at, James?
Oh, I'm right here. Yeah, I was just looking at, just thinking about what Brandon was talking about, and then, like I said, I always go back through, the history of people that came before us. That because what we're doing right today is nothing that they haven't done. They thinking about these same problems. How do we get ourselves out of this situation? That's what I was thinking about. And then so that lead me and I know they're like, damn, why James keep harping on what Malcolm X and Dr. Clark did? They set up a plan for us, and it was centered around education. They felt that we needed to re-educate ourselves first. One of the first things that we needed to do because of the confusion that we have that's causing this fighting that we're having. That's an identifiable problem. I know that might be a hard task and some people don't want to take up the challenge, but that is a very big issue in what we're dealing with. Because like I said, I was having a conversation with some young brothers last night, and if you really just assess, and no disrespect to them, but a lot of the people that have a problem with what we're doing haven't even studied what we're talking about. That's the conclusion that I came to.
They laid out that plan how many years ago?
That was in the 1960s. Not saying that it couldn't be modernized and modified. I didn't say that. But what I'm saying is we never even addressed any of that.
But I didn't even get to say what I was gonna say. You just
go ahead.
Just guessed what I was gonna say and start speaking against it. So I would rather ask you, do you think if they wrote that plan today, they would write it the same way that they wrote it in 1968 or whatever?
No, I said it's due. I mean, based on modern things that we found out, after they passed on, that no, it's always good to modify a plan, but the base of the plan, if you go and look at it and assess it, that's something that we need to tackle or take. Their assessment on their time. We haven't even addressed any of the things that they put on their plan to even get us in a better situation.
So how many points? It was like a 5-point plan?
Just 5 points.
You know the points?
Well, you
can put it on the screen for people to see. Go ahead, Brandon.
But not to be fair to us though, they had something working to their advantage. Their disadvantage was also an advantage that we don't have. They were less integrated than what we are. And because they were more segregated, their dollars were able to pull a lot easier, and they were still confined to a community mostly with each other. So they had that working to their advantage, whereas we would have to take a step backwards to accomplish what they already had set in place due to systemic racism.
So basically what you saying, I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is, it was based on what you're saying, that they were already still in a basic segregated situation. So they didn't even have to get back to what you called it earlier? Regentrification. Is that the word you used?
Yeah, they didn't have to worry about that.
You see what I'm saying? So they didn't have to worry about having to even get back together. So you said
no, they just had to pull dollars together.
Yeah, so you saying the plan would have been even better for them because they was already together. So they didn't have to go back through the problems there. So that's what Smash is talking about, how we have to modify the situation. So let me ask you this, Brandon. Do you think that what we've been dealing with since their time is a regression?
I say it has its
part of it.
I'm sorry. I'll say it has its ups and downs or its pros and cons to it. Because like I said, because they were still segregated, it was easier for them to pool funds together. With us being more integrated, it's harder to do because again, some of us got the mentality that white ice is colder. Like I worked with a firefighter before and he was bragging about his son and his Olympic prospects and swimming and everything. And he kept hammering me every day about seeing that remake about Roots. And I'm like, I don't want to see that. I saw the original. I mean, how many times can you retell the same story? I know what Roots is about. But he was like, well, you ain't woke enough. You ain't pro-black. And I'm like, well, you got a teenage son. Are you having him watch Roots? No, I don't want to mess him up because, he got to go to school with these white kids and I don't want it to hurt And I understood kind of sort of what he meant, but at the same time, that's the point that I'm trying to make. Like it's harder for us to get back to that place when so many of us are just. And then when I told him, I'm like, well, if your son go to medical school, like his mom become a doctor, we need people like that to go back into the Black community. And he was proud to say, my son ain't never been in an impoverished community in his life, and that's cool and all that. But there are people in the impoverished community that are still struggling and suffering that could use a doctor
Right.
like your son potentially, that you could maybe open up a free clinic every Tuesday, Thursday, or something like that. And you can get the funding from the state, from the government to keep it running, but that could help the community. Whether it's doing something as simple as giving out condoms or testing for STDs or something simple like that. But like I said, a lot of us, we have a mentality that we're okay where we're at or we're struggling. But also on the flip side, I do believe in our community, we are as strong as our weakest link. So I think that if we can empower the individual, it'll still help us as a whole. So if you start in your household teaching the pro-blackness, whether you are Christian, Muslim, or whatever, and you teach your child to have a strong sense of themselves, even if they do have a tie religiously to a different denomination or a different spiritual system, they're still going to look at you and say, okay, well, we can still build. Let's put that to the side and let's come together and do what we need to do.
Right.
And we live in a digital age also.
This is a refreshing conversation from the conversation I had last night. Because man, it was kind of wild. To see somebody that at least to have an understanding of what we need to be doing. You know what I'm saying? It seems like you get it. You know what I'm saying? Even though, we're what are we, 50 years removed from that, for you to be able to identify that as potentially a difference in that and what they were dealing with, and which I did too. That lets me know you on point, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
you've been thinking about this
already,
for real. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying?
If you already together, it's easier for you to kind of do what you need to do but also to our advantage, we live in a digital age. So we don't necessarily have to be together to pull resources together.
And that's another great point. That's another great point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we together right now. It seems like seemingly sometimes like more so now than we've been in a long time. You know what I'm saying? Based on just us being able to communicate digitally, like you said. It seemed, but it then like at one point it seemed like we were on a better path than we are today. But it seemed like a bunch of distractions have come along, from flat earthers to FBA. We've been y'all dealing with some Akroski or whatever y'all dealing with this year. So every year we keep having a distraction from doing what we need to do as far as getting ourselves together.
Well, everybody don't deserve.
I would say from a Pan-African perspective.
Everybody don't deserve attention though. Some of the channels just want to have some content. And if it ain't work, you know what I'm saying? Like that new conversation is crazy.
You're right. The Quashtis or whatever you pronounce that.
Yeah, ain't nobody taking that serious. And if 10 brothers go follow some dumb stuff, then what I'm supposed to say? But it ain't no phenomenon with a waspy in the hood or nothing.
But see what I'm saying? From my years of us being digitally connected, it seems like when you give stuff like that attention, it's like putting some oxygen on a fire.
Yeah, so it's letting it grow.
So in 2005, we didn't see Hebrews in Texas. We wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But via giving them a platform, some people thought that, hey man, that's something I should gravitate to. And then voila, what you have. And Brandon just said they got him where he at. Brandon, when was was that going on in Atlanta in the 90s and in the early 2000s?
Well, according to my aunt-in-law, she's always seen them, but she's originally from New Jersey, so I don't know if she was meaning from New Jersey or from here. But I know, like my grandparents, they have the Hebrew Israelite. They themselves are, follow the Hebrew Israelite way of thinking, and they partially raised.
Be more specific. I'm talking about the brand that we see today, like the brothers on the corner with the suits on. Do y'all have those? Y'all have that in Atlanta?
Yeah, we have that in Atlanta.
So okay, well, I'm asking
IUIC is
what throughout your
big here.
childhood, did you see that coming up? Were they doing that then?
I didn't see it, but I was exposed to it through my grandparents. My
Okay.
grandparents were he, but my grandfather, he started off Christian. See, well, my theory on it is that once you begin, most Christians don't really read the Bible. They go to church every Sunday. They'll listen to the pastor read a couple sermons or passages out, and then he'll build a whole lesson or lecture around those few verses or that one passage. And then, they're going to sing, they're going to pass the collection plate around. And they do more than that. I'm oversimplifying it, so I don't mean to offend anybody that is Christian, but that's just what they do. So the average Christian doesn't know much about the Bible. They know Jesus, they know Adam and Eve and Noah. That's it. And so the ones that become more studious in the Bible and begin to learn, those are the ones that begin to either take issue with what they're reading, so they have a form of cognitive dissonance. Because if you're reading something that doesn't sound right, you don't want to necessarily throw your belief out, and it's hard. So what you do is you either do one or two things. You either say, okay, I'm gonna put the truth above all else, and where it leads me, it leads me. But because you've been indoctrinated with that thought process since a small child, you will begin to, have a form of cognitive dissonance, and you say, okay, I'm gonna have to. Maybe these people are me. And I understand how us in the Black community or the rest of the diaspora, how we can look at the Bible and draw parallels between the early Israelite struggle and what we might have went through. So I get how you can make that natural leap to it. And so and if you go back and listen to like Cesario, what he said before was that he was looking for something a little more stronger and militant in Christianity. And a lot of that comes with our discontent with, the supremacy that we face in this country. The same way like how a lot of people in the 50s, 60s, and 70s migrated into the Nation of Islam. It's in a form, it's a form of rebellion or a form of revolting. And then we're going to naturally seek unity with other people like ourselves. It's just natural. So I get how, the progression was made into some of these groups. Like I get it. And it's hard to just let go because, like I said, I was raised Christian. And then my grandfather, he'd be in the bathroom reading the Bible, taking the hit of the joint. He'd be like, you know what? I think this book talking about, and I remember it. I remember him saying, I think this book talking about us. And then he progressed from there to full blown Hebrew Israelite. I remember the drastic change. We're not doing Christmas no more. And as a kid, that shit was hard. But my grandfather, and I love him to death, but he took it to the extreme because that's how strong his belief in the Bible is. So it was natural for him to gravitate towards what he felt was a little more militant.
That's his historical worldview. That's what.
Yeah, but right. So it was natural for him to gravitate towards it. So he just, and I get it. I get why he is that way. And
right. My grandparents as well. Mm-hmm.
And because I love my grandparents and I trust what they're saying, it was easy for them to get me, my brothers, my siblings, to get us all locked into the same process because it's only natural. Your parents are going to be the one who indoctrinate you into whatever it is that they believe naturally. You're going to follow. It isn't until you get older and you start to develop your own thought for self that you begin to maybe question some things. But me personally, I've always questioned it. I've always been that kid that's sitting there.
Where the hell you been at? Because this is refreshing to the maximum. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you seem like you've been through the same. Like everything that I be talking about. You just basically saying the same. It's a universal process that most of us all go through. And then when we see Dr. Ben at Malcolm X's funeral with as a Hebrew, we don't understand why he's talking about Kemet 10 years later. He's getting information just like your grandfather. Your grandfather was indoctrinated with Christianity. He started reading the book. He seen something else, and then he associated himself with somebody else that he thought that was him. So everybody's looking for themselves in whatever history that they're exposed to. That's just a natural thing. But for me, what I found out, Brendan, is it seems to me if we just go through the history of this, like Hebrew history is also cloaked in Pan-Africanism. Same thing with the Nation of Islam. It has like a Pan-African element to it that make it palatable to our people you know, that like that warrior type of thing that you said to Zodiac identified with. That's Pan-Africanism with Hebrew Israelite mixed in together. Same thing with the Nation of Islam. That's Islam mixed with Pan-Africanism within.
But it's hard. But it's just hard to let. Like I get why it's hard to let go. It's like I said, me because I've always been a studious person. I love history. I love science. When I began to study on my own, independent of my grandparents, I began to say, the more I studied about ancient Israelite culture, the more I realized, like, no, that ain't us. The more I began to break down who they were as a people, like I didn't know that they were actually, Canaanites. I used to think that, I believed the exact narrative in its entirety until I started studying the etymology of some of the words and terms, when the books were put together, why is this written this way? Why does the Blue Note mention Ra in it and stuff like that? But again, when you're faced with that point, you have to decide whether or not you want to know what is the truth and just go with that, or whether or not you want to, hold on to your belief. And if you want to hold on to your belief, then you'll begin to, ignore the facts. But that's because it's hard. Because if you think about it, if you spent your whole life believing something, I got to be good, I got to be a certain kind of way, I got to praise, I got to worship, or else I'm going to hell. And then you find out that all of that's not true, you'll go crazy. You'll either go crazy, and I get all of it. I get it. That's why I said I don't care if a person's Christian or Hebrew. If we can work together, we work together. We can argue about the rest later once we accomplish what we're trying to accomplish. It's trying to pull all of our people out of that mindset is a tall order.
Well, I mean, everything else, everything that don't have, I mean, because when we have these conversations, we somehow wind up talking about religion. And I'm saying more focus on economics because we've done that forever, dog. Everybody said the same jargon since the 70s. You know what I'm saying? You doing the wrong religion if we thought this way, if we think that way. No. How about if we just master this economy and all be balling so that when we need to do something for our people, we don't be at a loss or a shortage? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agree. So if we can put it to the side and figure out what we need to do in the meantime. It'll be because, my father also, on my grandparents that I'm speaking of, they're on my mother's side, but my father, he also adhered to the Hebrew Israelite way of thinking. And his mindset is that we all have to be under the same way of thought in order for it to work. And I'm like, that's not humanly possible. Like I said, the only way you can do that is to subjugate other people and force them to do exactly what you want them to do or believe what you want them to believe. Otherwise, they're not going to do it. If you look at the success of the previous empires, like the Roman Empire, they knew that, well, we can't just outright force people to adhere to Catholicism or whatever our belief is. We're going to have to adopt some of the cultures and customs of the local people in order for us to make our our empire work. And that's what it is. Like, you just have to, not saying that we have to adopt Christianity or anything like that, but you just have to let people do what they're going to do so long as we can build. We've done it before, so we can do it again.
Yeah, I'm over here looking at South Fullerton, just trying to read up on some of them to see if I can get some information.
Where are you talking about, in Atlanta?
Yeah, that place he cited. I'm about to read the wiki and see if they say how it came together. But I mean,
keep in mind though, Atlanta's a little different because we make up a large part of the population, and right now this is, according to the media, Black Mecca. So you're going to see stuff like that happen in Atlanta, which I do think Atlanta could be a case study for a lot of different economic problems that we do have. Because Atlanta, we don't have it all figured out in Atlanta either, but we at least try to move in the right direction. Like, no matter what, we've been trying to keep the mayor Black since the late 70s. No matter how hard they try to flip it back. But it was at a point where the previous mayor would groom the next mayor, and that line of succession stopped maybe in the 90s when I want to say Shirley Franklin came in, or it might have been after her. And they stopped doing that. And I think more predominantly Black communities should do that. I know there's a system
that's a good
somewhere.
system. That would you. I didn't even know that was going on, but that sounded pretty cool.
Well,
But let me. Hey, Smash, you got it to where you can't share the screen.
go ahead.
Okay. But this is the plan that Malcolm had came up with in the 60s. Now, like I said, it's due for revision based on, we got a little bit more information of different circumstances, like Brandon was saying. But when you look at this is still something that we need to do. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just read the 5-point plan. Restoration. It says, in order to release ourselves from oppression of our enslavers, then it is absolutely necessary for the Afro-American to restore communication with Africa. So I'm gonna stop right there now. Based on what this first thing is, restoring communication with Africa, that will be a good thing because that's where the predominant of our people are, and they have resources that could help us, probably have some of the bigger.
But this is what I'm saying, not to cut you off. Since 1960, we have restored communications with Africa. There's people right in my chat, probably on the continent right now.
Okay, but I think that they're not just talking about it from an individual basis. I think they're talking about on a more mass scale. But that's just me. Okay,
so but even still, it's nothing limited.
What we have the National Black Caucus and all of those type of people, we need them to actually be in communication with them to try to figure out how we can use either some of the resources that America uses to get, instead of America using those resources to build themselves up, how can we use some of those resources to economically enrich ourselves?
So
and because that's what's going on, right?
Well, the National Black Caucus is domestic. They don't really, as far as I know, someone can correct me, but I don't know about them dealing with international affairs.
Now, whatever we need to have that is what I would assume we would need. We need somebody that represents African Americans to establish. I don't know where, if you're saying it's already established and I'm unaware of it, then that's my ignorance.
But no. I was saying that this restoration line number 1 can be interpreted in many ways, and your interpretation that you seem to be saying is the way that it only could be interpreted. Like, they're not talking about individual. Where do it say that they're not talking about individual?
I think the individual, we're only as strong as our weakest link individually. I do think that so long as you got individuals that are making those strides, it'll only take time before it becomes a more widespread thing. But also the National Black Caucus is starting to see more and more members that are from other parts of the diaspora in the continent. So that could actually be a potential way to foster those relationships on the international scale.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a new body that is only focused on international affairs. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't exist that I know of. And I don't see nothing. I think I definitely agree that restoring communications with Africa is key. I think we've made some stride in that regard, but no, we have not set up effective communications in the sense of commerce, like is we doing imports and exports. So I don't know what the regard of communication.
That's what, not to cut you off, but that's what I think would be a good area to focus on. But some of the import and export areas would be hard to break into because of different conglomerates having their foothold in it. Like, I doubt you'll be able to come in and wrestle cobalt away from the Congo, but that would just be too hard to do. So I think it would have to be some other kind of export that they perhaps would be able to send to America that we could maybe develop or produce. The same way I brought up the other day about the tomatoes, how they export. They're one of the largest. Nigeria is one of the largest exporters of tomato, but they import tomato paste.
Okay, let me use a product for example that's not like some cobalt or something gold or nothing. Shea butter. Remember when we had the
I,
shea butter movement a couple of years ago? Now you see shea butter and Johnson Johnson and all type of American products. We did that.
Okay.
But that
what
we
did
should have
do?
had a whole, I mean, we should have had total, I'm talking about from the African American, we should have had some type of exclusive business. I mean, however you say that, to where we were doing it. But now it seems like when you see they put, I think they put a sister, right? Put a sister in the head of Johnson and Johnson, and then they started this shea butter line.
But look,
this happened right
no,
around.
that's not even the worst one to me. The worst one is Cantu. I don't know
See what I'm
why
saying?
something about Cantu bothers the
But-
hell out of. Excuse my
but
language.
y'all-
It bothers me so bad that is like a white-owned company,
It
but it's
seems-
called Cantu. I'm like, y'all trying to be slick with the Bantu with the C on it. Like, what y'all trying to say? I'm just saying.
The example you just cited was an example of individual endeavors. When you said we did that with the shea butter, there was no big African shea butter company or organization that said, you know what, I'm going to contact Africa and hook up some shea butter. Individuals, seeing that it was a good vending table product, right? And they started making their connections to get that shea butter. And the ultimate result, somebody thinking more corporately than us on the individual level, they basically brought it into their fold. But I just wanted to put out that example that if we, collective individual pursuits are still a collective pursuit. You see what I'm saying? Because we don't say he's the king or he's the leader, if we all still rowing in the same direction, we'll still reach land, so to speak. And I should have said the captain or the something that had to do with nautical affairs. But I'm saying, you know what I mean? And so if an organization to do it is a wonderful thing. But if there is no leader or no one in that organization, we can for instance, we start talking about hair, getting wholesale weaves, and you know what I'm saying, and trying to see if we could get them to the sisters in our community and be a better auxiliary than these beauty supply stores. We're getting cheap hair.
Only reason why that's kind of hard to do is because the Koreans have that on lock, and they intentionally gatekeep us out of that.
But look
industry.
what I'm saying. They really don't
Like
have
now,
it on lock. They don't.
So in Atlanta, there's plenty of black-owned beauty supply stores, but what they've done is they started to franchise out like the Beauty Master. So even though you as a black man or woman is the owner of the store, you're still paying. But I guess that's no different than doing the same thing with McDonald's.
So this is what it seems to happen. When we play video games, we understand that we can beat the last master. But in real life, we'll just look at somebody like the Koreans with a simple business structure on hair, and we'll propose them as the reason why we can't break into an industry. Now, I can tell you, just thinking like the sticks, I'm taking it back to my sticks analogy, I can tell you plenty of ways because we are closer to the consumer. So we sleep with black women. You see what I'm saying? And knowing somebody who, all right, how about this? Everybody know on the black market level, remember when gift cards was running around? I don't know. I ain't asking nobody to incriminate themselves. So, yeah, let's use it as a hypothetical.
That was a bad example.
Yeah,
man.
well, no, it's a good example. When gift cards was running around, nobody. Yeah, they still had gift cards in the stores that really sold the gift cards. But on that black market of gift cards, everyone in the community knew exactly who the vendors were, right? Where to go. He got Gap. She got Home Depot. Well, what I'm saying is it was because we was one step closer to the consumer and had reduced prices. So if go ahead.
My bad, cutting you
No,
off.
you're not cutting me off. Go ahead.
It's not a matter of being close to the consumer. It's a matter of getting a hold of the product to sell to the consumer. That's why, like I said, in Atlanta, and it may be the same all over, but Now they're franchising these beauty supply stores out to black owners because they're meeting resistance when we go in there. Sometimes you might not get the respect, or they might treat you a certain kind of way. And in Atlanta, we've had several instances in which they'll boycott a beauty supply store. So now the solution to that is we can franchise our beauty supply store out. We still own. That's what they're doing here. That's what I'm seeing in Atlanta. You're seeing
I
black
know I
owners.
gotta be some brothers in Atlanta that's smarter than that, and that ain't no disrespect. But why would they even be going to Koreans to get their hair? The hair ain't Korean. It's not Korean hair. It's Indian hair.
No. But okay, so what the Koreans figured out is that they don't have to touch the product anymore. It'd be like if you the person in the streets that's fronting the work, you might have started out being the one that's doing the hand-to-hand sale, and you no longer you able to go from that to being able to buy wholesale up front, and then you
They
put on
already
some
done
people
got up,
under
is
you.
what
And
he's saying.
yeah, they're at a point now where they're doing it like McDonald's, where they don't have to be Roy A. Kroc or whatever that guy's name is flipping the burger no more. They're gonna have that black person working in that black community flipping that burger. It's the same thing with a beauty supply store now. And the beauty supply store, they're franchising them out like McDonald's. So you'll see the owner himself is black, but he's still paying a franchise fee to someone Korean. He might pay 10% or maybe a percentage of every dollar. Well, when I worked at a Popeyes as a teenager, the owner said for every dollar that he sells, every dollar that he makes, he has to give like 6 cents or 10 cents or something like that. I believe it was 6 cents to the actual Popeyes corporation. That's what they're doing out in Atlanta. So now they know because black people are protesting the mistreatment and some of the unfairness we experience going to these beauty supply stores. And we either tearing them up all outright or we're just boycotting and not spending our money. They stepped away from it. They let us do it, and we pay them a franchise fee.
All right, let me show you something. Because I'm not saying that what you're saying is not true, but and I'm not saying this pretentiously, but thinking as a CEO for the past 20 years, my job is problem solving, not identifying problems, right? So I'm never going to sit in a business room with nobody who's trying to get their paper and just identify problems all day. And so what I'm about to do is just show you something that if this was a business meeting, we'd be able to accept this as a possibility if it gets past your keenest scrutiny, a possibility for a solution to everything you're talking about. Now, I'm simply here at a Chinese hair manufacturer that sells wholesale to anyone who has a wholesale license. It's not about, so in my business plan and breakdown, that if we were able to just simply contact a customs broker, right, and then get them to broker the deal between this manufacturer and to make sure they give us the insurances that we're going to get our product from this manufacturer delivered to whatever port we want it delivered to, now we are closer to the consumer. And that would matter a lot, because the reason why I gave out the instance of the gift cards is because we didn't even have to think that through. Everybody knew how to find the person who had gift cards for 50%. So you think the same phenomenon would not occur if we popped up in the hood with the hair that women really want for 50% less than Sally's or the Korean places? And so I'm just putting that out there as a solution to every roadblock that we discussed so far in this conversation. And I do want your harsh scrutiny. I don't want you to say, yeah, I see what you're saying. Tell me why that wouldn't work.
No, okay, so I think it would work because it would create the distribution. But what I think the issue is that the average person isn't thinking on that level. What they're thinking is that I may not be able to own my own McDonald's. I may not be able to own McDonald's outright, but I can own 4 or 5 McDonald's and still be a millionaire. So that person that's buying that Beauty Master, they're probably thinking to themselves, I may not be able to directly go and become the distributor, but I can own 4 or 5 Beauty Masters. And for them, that process might be easier than actually setting that up. But I do think someone should set that up, because if they do set that up, that would actually cut out the middleman. it sounds possible to do.
So
I'm not
I'm
gonna say
thinking,
that
and
that's
I appreciate that, especially if that was some of your harsher critiques. What about you, James? Or like say why that wouldn't work, or tall guy?
Well, what I would say is, to be fair, you doing this from a 2024 perspective. Like, a lot of our people don't think like this, man, as far as like even having the uh, um understanding of going overseas to from a like in a digital age to be able to do this. Now it's becoming more prevalent now, but back in the day, that was this was a problem. It was just like making records. You couldn't go and do what you did with your album now that you did back in 1990. You know what I'm saying?
You're
So
right.
now, yeah, we got the ability to do this, to go to Alibaba and do that. That's the game. But you know what they did now, Smash? Trump, and as soon as the game got good, when we found out about it, he lifted the tariffs on China to make the shipping of this stuff more
Man, I'm
expensive.
gonna show you. I showed you before. Remember when I
Okay.
showed you the picture of the boxes that got confiscated from the port of in China from one of my manufacturers? It was because of Trump. Believe it or not, y'all. While everybody was watching TV and it really wasn't affecting them, when Trump came on TV and was like, "I'm putting these new," no, he didn't raise. What you meant by raise? You mean increase?
He raised the
Yeah,
tariffs
he
as well. But
increased
tell
them.
me your story. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh, he said they bootlegging everything. Remember when that was his hype?
Right. I remember that.
Dude, I was producing some Converse and they were some Hyro Converse, but they just happened to have the word All Star on them. And by his new law, that if it had any word or anything, it didn't have a brand word. It didn't say Converse. It just said All Star. The Chinese government came to the warehouse, did an inspection, and confiscated our goods. And I just got a frantic call from the lady at the factory, like, they're taking your stuff. So I only gave her a third of the payment. So I'm like, I hope, don't even think you know what I'm saying? I'm in my head like, I know you in China.
You
So
think she trying to gang?
no, I'm not thinking she's trying to gank me because I did a lot of more business with her for more money, right?
Word.
And so I'm just thinking, I know I'm not getting that money back the first third of the payment because you in China, you just can say anything. You can say, hold on, and just go. You know what I'm saying? I can't do nothing. But what she wasn't about to get was because they completed making the project, but since it didn't make it to the port, you wasn't getting the rest of that money. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I feel
So,
you.
but anyway, but not to say what I'm saying. Cause
So hold on. So
wait,
so
hold on. We still on number one of what you was talking about, real quick. Don't think we was off course because we was having a deep dive on whether a individual pursuit or a collective group type of corporate pursuit will none of them is mutually exclusive. I mean, one don't negate the other is what I'm trying to say. We can have both. But speaking towards us reconnected to Africa, and then we expanded to doing international commerce, I just want to see if anybody, before we just start talking, anybody want to speak towards that in closing or whatever. Then we could go to number 2.
Okay.
Peace, fam.
Peace.
Yeah, regarding that, I made a comment in the chat too, just saying that loosely paraphrasing Garvey, right? Like, in order to be good to Africa, we have to, we got to kind of establish some trade amongst ourselves here first. Wouldn't you agree with that? Before we could take on that next, that would be like a progression, a good progression.
What'd you say?
For something that
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
Yeah, I think again, to loosely paraphrase Garvey. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes, we fine.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes sense to handle our business here first and then expand out to Africa. Or are you saying our product solicitation would be dependent on getting stuff from Africa? I think
All
we
right. That's a good point you made. Now, if you're making that point in light of what James made, I don't think those are contradicting or conflicting points because the product James had cited was an African product that wasn't available and easily found in the States. You see what I'm saying? Now I agree with you. If you can't identify a domestic product, right,
that we could put our hands on that they ain't already monopolied out, it's hard to identify one of those. You see what I'm saying? And normally we do it with services and intellectual property. What I mean is, yeah, we could jump higher, so we hooping, and because can't nobody do that, and we be busting and singing and blowing. But show me another domestic product they ain't got their hands on that we could work with like that. You feel me?
Yeah, well, even if they have their hands on all of those products, it doesn't mean we can't touch them just like everybody else does. It
You're
doesn't, again,
100%
I'm
right.
going back, right? It
That's-
doesn't stop the Mexicans.
That's
It
a
don't
good
stop
point.
the Indians from getting their hands on these products, auto parts, things that we, again, it's just, to me, the lowest hanging fruit is things that we spend our money on every day. Think about all the money we give to the Arabs and the Koreans and all them people, and think about those are the things that we need to be selling.
Yeah, you're right. I'm tripping. I don't even know what made me. Oh, and the only reason why I asked that it was something they didn't have their hands on because James.
See, now you gonna
No,
blame
no,
me.
I'm not blaming. Listen,
No, we ain't doing that.
but you gotta learn how to listen and stop cutting people off.
No, I'm just saying.
I was giving you credit.
Word.
But you just want to bust out in the middle of me talking.
Oh, I thought, yeah, I'm just messing with you. But go
I
ahead.
was saying because James' example, see, was shea butter, something you couldn't find in the economy, and they brought that from the continent. Now,
wait. Y'all missing something. That's not how that exactly happened.
Oh, okay.
You started to get a rise of black-owned hair care product companies. So we're already doing what the guy just said. Why aren't we doing? You have people that say, I can make my own hair care products and sell it. You got a list of black-owned hair care products. One of the biggest ones is Bevel. So on it,
you accidentally went on mute, I think. Or something happened.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Maybe Brandon, maybe something happened. Yeah,
he in a bad spot.
I had muted myself for a second. Somebody was asking something.
I thought so.
Yeah, so one of the biggest hair care products that's black owned is Bevel, and he refused to sell. Gillette's been coming at him, trying to get him to sell, and he refuses to sell it. But Bevel's not the only one. I use a product myself called Curls that's black owned, and there's plenty of them. So we're already making the products and doing that. And once they started to see that, hey, they're not spending money with Cantu no more, they're buying Curls and they're buying Bevel. If they can't buy you out, then they emulate you. So that's why you start to see the shea butter products coming out more and the cocoa butters and Suave and stuff like that. So that they can still try to maintain that consumer base that they're starting to lose to these black hair care products. I think just about any.
Go ahead.
That's why it's important. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Any industry that exists, you have someone that's black that's trying to either pioneer it or push it forward. So we can't have the mindset that nobody's doing it because we're already doing it. Yeah. What we have to do is what Smash is saying. The only thing that we have, the missing part that we have is what Smash is saying, well, we need to be able to get to the supplier directly and cut out the middleman. Once we do that, we'll be on better ground.
You sure right.
Yeah, well, that's why taking some of them international trips be hella fun. Because you can just have a small little ambition. Like in the world, it ain't a grand ambition to be like, I want to meet the person at this factory who is in there doing the hair. They not a superstar. They don't got no attitude. They in the factory working. But if you made that connection and you got one-on-one talk to them and they producing that, man, I'll show you emails right now where I talk to the factory lady. Like, I'm at a standoff with her right now because she $1.50 over where I need her to be. You see what I'm saying? But now I never laid eyes on this person, but we did sizable transactions. And so I already know. Now, what I'm not just trying to talk about me, but it'll be beneficial for us to easily do that, hella easily, and they so be looking for you. Especially after they get their money, then you confirm that black business is everything that they might have not known it was.
You know what, Smash? I did. You know, I got a brand too. I've done business with China. You know, just like what you talking about, what you did with the shoes. I've gotten things made over there too. So they definitely with it. I'm just talking about what put a monkey in the wrench is when Trump did that with the tariff.
Nah, it's back. That's all the way open. That's wide open again.
Okay,
right?
Well, his ass trying to get back in office, so we.
But now, just to stay on track, we are talking about Good Conversation International Producership, but they said communications with Africa. So right. I mean,
They just ain't talking about business.
I took it to China. Now, if we want to use our relationships with China to bolster our relationships with Africa, so be it. What I mean is, we ain't got nothing that's juking, so we can't even get nothing from Africa.
So
we start selling.
the reason.
Go ahead.
Again, my bad cutting you off. The reason why I brought up the tomatoes is because when I look at the Italians and you see it in the mob movies like Godfather, the first thing that they were able to establish back with their home country is to get in the olive oil export and import business. Everybody uses olive oil. Same thing with tomatoes. If they're one of the number, I believe it might be the number one. I'm not sure, but one of the biggest exporters of tomatoes. Why couldn't we foster that relationship? Have them import. Because I think the other day somebody said, well, we were having an issue with building the factory to process the tomatoes. And I was saying to build a processing plant there, but it would make more sense to actually build them here. You get the tomatoes shipped here, you process the paste. Everybody buys tomato paste.
Let me ask you a question. You talking about international tomatoes?
Well, yeah. They're exporting the tomatoes anyway.
But no, we be getting domestic close tomatoes.
But when you look at the Italians and olive oil, one of the things that make their olive oil better is that it's attached to Italy itself, and it's Italian exported olive oil.
I see what you're saying.
So it could work.
It
could work the same way with the marketing.
Cultural continuity is what he's talking about.
Right. So you would basically be able to say
Italian
these.
Product, right?
Right.
Tomatoes isn't necessarily considered an African product.
And one more thing. Are you talking about a product to be made from the tomatoes? Like tomato paste, like you said, huh?
Tomato paste, right. Because not only do you see Africans using tomato paste in jollof rice, but we cook the same dish. We call it red rice in the Southeast. If you go more to the Delta region, it's called jambalaya, but it's the same dish. And then everybody uses tomato paste in spaghetti and other dishes. So it's something that's simple. And yeah, you can always say, well, we're doing it tomato. I mean, you're getting locally sourced, but just to be able to stamp that they're grown, because they do the same thing with coffee beans.
But you need them to paste it over there, or your factory to paste it got to be over there, because the paste ain't gonna perish as quick as the tomatoes. Like, you know how long it be taking to get something on a boat from Africa or something?
Yeah,
right,
it's not
that does make sense. I didn't consider that.
I think we overthinking this thing, and I think again, all those that's definitely something. International trade and trade with Africa, particularly, is definitely something that's been on my radar for the longest. I mean, I was kind of speaking on the ADDI last time with Dr. Eric Khanna and whatnot, but that all happens after we get to set up here, right? And so, and again, to the point about the hair and other stuff, that's why it's even in those hair care products. I'm glad you mentioned that too, because I'm not aware of too many Black-owned, nationally distributed hair care products. So, yeah, I think that's a great thing. That's a natural place to start, right, with the hair care products. But just getting in that culture, and it's even more important to stress the fact that, yes, this is Black-owned, Black-produced. Those are the things that we don't need to shy away from. Those are things that we need to embrace, because we have enough. This is what I was trying to explain last show. We have enough market share. There's a market big enough to make us all rich if we sell products just to each other, or just to ourselves and nobody else. Not that we don't want to touch those other markets, because we do. But even if we just sold products to ourselves and produce what we consume, we'll be rich.
I will tell you like this. You're 100% right. And to tell the truth, the average, even products, I never sell too much of a tangible product that ain't, like, if I went through the manufacturing process, in order for your business to thrive, it needs to be at least a minimum 3 times markup. And I can talk to you about why that's true. If you only got a 2 times markup, you can only produce one more of the things that you just produced with no profit, right? Say it costs you $10 to sell a shirt, and you say, I'm going to sell it for $20. Well, in actuality, you think if you profited $10, then you can't produce another shirt. Oh, wait, did I say that wrong? Yeah, I said that right. If you say that $10 is profit, you can't produce another shirt. So if you say, okay, well, this $10 is, I sold it for double ain't what nobody do. So I don't know why I was saying that, because I was trying to get to, if we could find, I don't know, I think I was talking about us finding a product where the markup is still there, but I apologize because the reason why I brought that up just flew off my shoulder, like, you know.
No, it's all good. We got to be cost effective, right? You got to be efficient with how much you get your product for, and versus how much you sell it. So that is some a math problem that has to be solved at some point.
I forgot what we was. Oh, hold on, just real quick, if I can
Oh, tenant number 2.
What would you say?
Tenant number 2, I think, was the next thing.
Reorientation.
Yeah.
Okay, so we all agree that it is absolutely necessary for African Americans to restore communication with Africa. So next one, reorientation. We can learn much about Africa by reading informative books and by listening to experiences of those who have traveled there.
All right, we got that on lock in the last 50 years.
Right. Okay. So that's already it. So education. The Organization of Afro-American Unity will devise original educational methods and procedures which will liberate the minds of our children. So they're just talking about the children because pretty much everybody else got that. So they're trying to help that generation. They'll say, we will encourage qualified Afro-Americans to write and publish the textbooks needed to liberate our minds, educating them, our children at home. It says the next one. So I don't think nobody disagrees with that. We need to re-educate ourselves from an African-oriented state. It says economic security, and I think this is what we are on right now. It says African, after the Emancipation Proclamation, it was realized that the Afro-American constituted the largest homogeneous ethnic group with a common origin and common group experience in the United States, and if allowed to exercise economic or political freedom, would in short period of time own this country. We must establish a technician bank. We must do this so that the newly independent nations of Africa can turn to us, who are their brothers, for the technicians they will need now and in the future.
Well,
so I'll stop right there.
Nah, that last part, they didn't. I mean, he wrote that at a time when Africa probably was less technically advanced than Black Americans.
Right. So that's what I was talking about, the revision.
Yeah, but right now they'll take apart a phone on us and
they passed us up.
Yeah, and turn it to
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So some of this is done, but we need revision. But okay, but self-defense. It says in order to enslave a people, to keep them subjugated, their right to self-defense must be denied. We encourage the Afro-Americans to define themselves against the wartime attacks of the racist aggressors. Those solely aimed is to deny us the guarantee of the United Nations Charter of Human Rights and the Constitution of the United States of America.
Got to get some money first, and we wouldn't have that conversation on public lines.
Right. But the right to self-defense, which we all agree with that. So, like I said, this is due for revision, but a lot of this stuff we haven't even. I don't think we've actually touched.
Yeah, I've never looked at it.
We're still in the same situation that a lot of this stuff is still on this list. Which one of these on the list have we accomplished to that we can really say? That's what I looked at.
All right. That's a good point. I finally remember why my brain had flew away though. Because I was trying to explain how our ideas that we were talking about, even if we were talking about getting hair at wholesale and trying to still take some of that market back from the Koreans, I started talking about how you mark up products. And so, real quick, I was like, I wonder why I mentioned that. So let me just show you so I could have that thought be at least in this video. Right? Because when we was looking at the wholesale hair or what have we, women will tell you how much they spend for Alibaba. Right? Women will tell you how much they spend for hair. And I'm just wondering, before we do any type of business situation, a business plan, we just sit here and talk about the probability of these type of markups, and then what will we would be able to beat, how will we be able to beat Sally's. Now, for instance, they say they'll give you 1 to 500 pieces for $24, but if you buy 500 pieces, they $9, right? Now, you know, dang, now a woman, if it's any woman watching in the chat or whatever, or if anybody know about how much weaves cost, how much markup is in there, how much discount could you give the women in the hood over Sally's, right? And that's the catch right there, because we sleep next to our women, right? And so they can't get them first. What I mean is you just grab the phone and be like, my man, what's the name, say he got weaves for $15. Now, obviously, like, that sound like, well, that's just one-on-one household. No, not if it was set up kind of like, who remember the bootleg man in the hood? Well, we know business. If it was set up where one person had the pack and they was going to him to get the packs and they was distributed out the hoods, eventually they'd start depending on this other source instead of Sally's. That's all I'm saying.
So let me just, and I hate to bring this up, but what do we do about the negative connotations that we have with Black business? How do we solve that? Because we'll see a Black person doing the same thing as somebody else and say, and you know, that's what I'm talking about, the stigmas that we have. How do we need to fix that?
Well, no,
the
that's
word,
not...
just tall guy brought it up, that we have to have pride in these particular products. Something to say, man, that's the best. That's what we need to get. We need to have that type of an attitude when it comes to us selling product. You know what I'm saying?
So you just asked the question and answered it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I think we're doing that right here, and even with the culture that's being created from this channel and Sanetta's channel is but this in particular, you know, with just the music, the products, and the conversations is exactly what we need to be doing to change the culture.
Right.
What I would say is I like what I saw.
Go ahead.
My bad. I like what I saw. I can't remember the name of the YouTube channel where they go around the country and go visit different food hot spots. Huh?
Wodemaya, yeah, the young Ghanaian brother, right?
No. This is one of the more popular. I can't remember what it's called,
Kevin Lee or something. But yeah, we know what you're talking about.
But it's but they interviewed a brother out in LA and he opened a taco spot. He was kind of heavy set. He was saying his friends was cracking jokes on him, and it was like, before that he was selling weed, and they was like, you know, you should make tacos. And he was like, good idea. I think his taco truck is called All Flavor No Grease or something like that. So what he did was he got together with other black owned taco shops in the LA area. They formed a group together where they could discuss and draw out, I'm assuming, territory, so they're not stepping on each other's toes or ruining each other's business. They don't have to really compete on that kind of level. They can support each other. Okay, you over here in maybe South Central, I'll stick to the Compton area, you stick to that area, and then we just check in with each other before we cross each other's territory or anything that we might do that ruin a person's business. I think we had to have that kind of mentality with any kind of industry that we do.
Man, you're
right.
Some
sort of commission.
You're right, but it ain't a but to what you're saying. You're right. I'm almost 50, and we need to stop talking. Right? That's all I'm saying.
Well, no, these are people that they already have their businesses. All of these guys own their own taco shops, and they all got their own notoriety out in the LA metropolitan area. They got together after they already did what they were doing so that they wouldn't step on each other's toes.
No,
so
I'm not saying that to contradict what you were saying. I was even referring back to something we talked about in the video the day before. Remember when we was talking about toilet paper? So I wouldn't necessarily refute you. I would not at all. Y'all don't remember 2 days ago when we was talking about toilet paper and
Asar brought it up.
Now I'm just saying right here. Look, we could do that, really, right? We could ask them to send us a sample, right, of your toilet paper. If it's suitable, right? If it's 2-ply or whatever the community like, they do the repackaging. They do all of that, and I know everybody that I'm talking to kind of like know this. So I'm saying we just talking. Because if we like, okay, well, we can want to start supplying some of these products. Well, what's up then?
Word. You know what I'm saying? That's
How much
what
money
I
you
be
need
at
from
with
each
it,
person?
man. Now
So,
we just got it. So
I mean,
basically, you
see,
just said we need to get a couple of homies together and go and get it cracking.
so that's a good question, tall guy. Hey, Rue. But when we present that question that way, it makes certain people feel like they wouldn't be able to participate if they didn't have the bread. One thing I learned is if the idea is solid, the money gonna come. So let's look at that from the opposite way, not how much we all gotta contribute. What I'm gonna go is say their minimum order is 25,000, right? And so I'm gonna write out the plan as if you ain't
Plan
even
for a
tripping
loan.
off the money. Yeah, exactly. So let me see. So somebody want to do that real quick because it's 25,000 times
Say 15 cents a roll.
yeah, times 15 cent, right? So where the calculator at?
I'm driving right now.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the calculator. Hold up. Let me see.
So, but you
But
probably have to count the shipping and all that, and so what that roll
Yeah,
probably
but
is
that
gonna
we're
be.
gonna get around to that because you got to do your own packaging too. But a
Oh
lot of
yeah,
the
then it's
time you
gonna be a little
wanted to
bit more.
say, you whatever
Yeah,
yours
yeah,
say
yeah.
on the
Uh-huh.
front. You
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what I'm
Your
saying?
branding, yeah, that's gonna cost a little bit more. So,
yeah, I love this path we on though, man. This is a natural progression,
yeah,
and I'm
they
glad
showing
we.
how
Hey,
strong it
hey,
is with
so
the
look,
machine.
guess what? So you got 25,000 rolls for 37.50, bro. Now hold on, we gotta see how much is we because you put 4 rolls into a pack, right? And you charge like 7 for a pack. So hold on, I'm getting too high for you.
No, don't do 7 smash. Do five.
Wait, wait,
Five
wait,
dollars.
wait. What you mean? I just we
$5
ain't
for
we ain't to
for a
the
roll
price.
of 4.
We ain't to the price yet.
Oh, okay,
I
I
just
thought you
was
said.
doing it too quick. Let me slow us down because what we need to do is divide. If it's 25,000 rolls, how many are we putting in a pack? So we got that first number, 3,700 is what it'll cost us to get 25,000 rolls. A pack of whatever paper. This is our business plan. A pack of our toilet paper. How many rolls do you get in a pack? Just like everybody else, 4, right?
Yeah, so yeah, we just do the base 4.
Okay, so we're gonna take that 25,000 and divide it by 4, and we got 6,200 packs. Now, how much we selling a pack for?
$5.
Times $5. Off that 37.50, we can make 31,000. See? See what I'm saying? And
You
this
talking
shit,
about, well, hold
bro,
on,
this shit work
37.50.
every time you do it.
yo, look, I said, hold on. You talking about 37.50? You
If
talking
we
about $3,700?
3,700, we just did. I will do it again on the calculator, and now you're gonna have pitfalls like just take away 10 of these G's and say 2,100. But
You
that's
still gonna
there.
win.
If you could get people to buy your toilet paper for $5. When they know, now we can go look at the prices. How much is a 4-ply Charmin? You know what I'm saying? We need to be
Yeah, you're
competitive.
gonna probably have to underbid them.
Yeah, I mean,
You
you
got to have a
definitely
generic type of pricing for yours
2-ply
because they
Charmin.
got a name. You know what I'm saying?
No, but all right, now hold on. 2-ply Charmin 4-pack. It's gonna be over $5. Watch. We already beating them. Hold on, where is it at? We're gonna look at the
That's
cheapest
a
price.
$8. What?
We're
No,
gonna
that's a
look on
16 pack.
Amazon, bro. If this is an 8-pack
That was a
Charmin,
16 pack.
no, they say 4 doubles. Look, that's $4. So they got 8 of them in there. Wait, they say 4.
No, that's 4
Yeah.
equals 8. They saying that,
Oh, so
that's
that's a
what it
4-pack.
is. So that's a 4-pack.
So they 4-packs is at about. So in order to beat them, we gotta be doing 60.
3 some.
We gotta
See, they say 434.
6,200. We got 6,200 packs.
$4. Do $4.
We're gonna do them. Nah, we're gonna do them at $250 for the town.
Yo,
Cause we gotta get this money.
you out of control.
Look,
I feel you though. You know
Hey,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
exactly.
Yeah, I feel
We
you.
still
Okay, let's see what we
made
come up with.
15,000 off of 37.50. Now you gotta subtract
No,
about
you said that 250.
maybe subtract 5,000 of that because you need a customs broker. They might charge you for packaging. So listen,
Yeah. The expenses
but
of
it's
the
only
packaging.
2 or 3 things, and so that's a practicality. Now
what you want to do then, you got to be able to get this off fast. You
What
can't
you
be
mean? No,
holding
you
on to
don't.
toilet paper
You
for
don't
20
gotta
years.
get that toilet paper off fast. You tripping.
You don't want to be holding on to it for 20 years.
You are right, but it don't. See, this is one thing. It's 100% you gonna sell every roll. Like it ain't nobody with some old toilet paper like they like. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like in a warehouse somewhere, unless it didn't feel correct. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's gonna get sold. It's just the speed of your sale is
Yeah,
what's
that's
gonna
what you.
make
I'm
it
just
funny.
saying you kind of wanted to be.
So
moving
now
like
you got to think of the average rate that every time a family goes grocery shopping, they get some toilet paper, right? So now what's the frequency of your sales you can pull off in the hood? Man, come on, dog, that'll be gone. And then when you hit TikTok, making people laugh and stuff, and they just want to buy it to show that they bought the black toilet paper, come on, you're going to be sold out. What's up with Brandon?
Really, you don't even have to undercut the price too much. You can just, if it's, let's say if it's $4 a pack, you can sell at $3 if it'll still be profitable because people will still buy it regardless. Because I know me personally, when I go to the grocery store and I'm buying toilet paper, the store brand, it's weird, but Walmart store brand is actually more expensive than some of the name brand now. And I don't know why. I guess they assume that because more people was buying the Walmart store brand that they could just mark up the price, but we were buying it because it was cheaper. So now, like I said, if you can undercut, yeah, you're gonna have people that always go for Charmin, but you're gonna have a lot of people that are, especially at times like this, that's gonna say, okay, this is $1 cheaper. I could save on that. Let me go ahead and grab that. You just got to put it next to the product.
Now, if we really good at marketing and we understand we in a new age, and we also understand that we gonna hop over and over from product to product, then we kind of gotta incorporate a marketing plan that mandates some viralness to it. Like if it was some toilet paper out called that ass or something, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
So in y'all areas, in y'all parts of the country, do y'all have like little this and that stores? Because like here in Atlanta, you'll see a lot of stores. They'll be called this and that or something like that, and it'll be a black-owned store, and it basically will be almost like a little small Dollar Tree or Family Dollar. But then they offer other services too, like the person that owns it, it usually be like a notary, and you can get all of that done in one spot.
Dog. I'm gonna tell you, I don't know much about that, and I got a lot of them in California, but I'm gonna tell y'all this. This product could go well over $100,000 if you wasn't even serious, dog. I'm trying to tell you. So imagine this. You see where it says logo? Imagine you really put a funny logo there, right? And then attacked it from the social media way and made a funny infomercial about some toilet paper for black people. Or whatever, toilet paper for whatever uses. Like, and then you had a commercial and it was on TikTok and everywhere. You don't think that it will get some people trying to see is it real and they buying it? All you got is 6,700 units. You feel me? You gonna run through them just off of the non-serious factor. And now the serious factor is you really telling people what, I mean, it's really toilet paper. Like, you can really support this movement by simply just changing your toilet paper. And it feel better because we got velvet in that thing. You know what I'm saying? But I pretty much think that you go through hell of this. Now, if I sound crazy, then we can switch into another easy product that could be found here. But I hope people get the drift. Like
Deion Sanders, he remember last year they had those shades that he was promoting, and that stuff went viral in a week. I know they made a killing. So you right about what you're saying, but using our celebrities, you know, and our rap influence, that's one of the greatest things that I think that you definitely are tapped into, using that for our marketing. Y'all are the people like the influencers, and Europeans have already been using y'all to market their product.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We missed out for my Adidas. Man, everybody was buying Adidas when Run DMC was talking about that. So that's the play. Use that model for ourselves.
Oh, here go Tall God. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, come on now. Now, I just went to toilet paper because we was talking about it the other day. That's only 3,700. That amount we could just do viral, and you start a page like we about to sell toilet paper and be talking about, and then you getting paid from multiple ways. Now you monetizing the content of y'all even being wise enough to do this, and you recording the whole process and you putting it on the YouTube. Come on now, man.
Man, I can see you making a rap. That's crazy. You know, I know you can do it. You know what I'm saying? You can make a rap and make this shit sound sellable. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it's gonna be so
That's
soft.
crazy.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
he
just so
said
soft. Yeah, he just
Word.
they be like, it's so soft. They be
The
like,
soul glow type shit. You
Hey,
know?
but anyway, tall guy, where you was at? I hadn't heard from you in a minute.
Yeah, my damn battery died, man. So I just fell off for the last 5-10 minutes. But I know you started talking about toilet paper the last time. Last thing I heard, you was talking about the toilet paper. It looked like you went in depth a little bit more.
Oh, we was kind of like doing some numbers and just laughing at how if we really was serious about this as the practicality. I don't think that if I mean put it this way, if you got a sample and the sample feel cool, I don't know what the problem right here. It says shipping fee 34,000, but I know that's definitely off. Like that ain't even.
So did you guys figure out how much, like say a 4-pack or an 8-pack of toilet tissue?
Yeah,
How
we
much?
went through
That's
that. You want to go through it again? Let's do it again. This is another vendor with cheaper cheaper toilet paper. Now I'm gonna clear out the calculator, right? Now it says they will give you 20,000 to 49,999 rolls for 60 cents. We want over 50,000 rolls so we could get it for 11 cents, right? So we're gonna say 50,000 times 11, right? And we get 5,500, right? So for 5,500, we got 50,000 rolls of paper. So now we gotta say, okay, these is packaged as 12 rolls. They 12 packs. So we gotta divide 50,000 by 12. 50,000, because we make 12 packs, right? Divided by 12. And we're gonna have 4,166 packs of these, basically. You feel me? Out of 50,000 of those, you can make 4,100 of these. So this is a 12 pack. Now we're going to go back and see what a 12 pack of Charmin is going for. I mean, that's the top of the line, but we still want to get it on Amazon to see the cheapest a 12 pack is going for. Dang, they got stuff up here for 35.
Wow.
But we're going to go with the cheaper one. I mean, that's
a 24 pack you was looking at.
How much is it at Walmart? That's what you want to know.
12 pack is right there in the middle.
Amazon,
it's 20. It say $28. See that right there?
$28.
It says 12 pack, 12 mega pack equals 48. These are mega packs though.
So we don't want no mega. We want so there's 28 right here. What about this?
That's what it is.
This one's 25. So about $25, right? I mean,
yeah, that's what I would say.
If y'all fair, we can go. If you want to go cheaper, we can say $20. Like, but
for a 12 pack, yeah, let's go to Walmart website
Walmart.
and see what they're letting it go for.
Shit, look like 12 packs running 20 plus smash from what I'm seeing. So that's what it looks like. 22.
Oh yeah, hold on. This say $8. No, that's a 4. Yeah, that's a 4-pack though. Hold on. This is 12. 14.
Oh, $14.
That sound about more realistic.
Yeah, that's at Walmart. Okay, 14 for that 12-pack. Okay.
Yeah, okay, word.
So that's fine. So we're gonna just do
Not saying we can't charge more than that. The Walmart
No,
charge,
we're gonna charge less. We're gonna do the numbers. Because you got 40. Look, we got 4,100 packs. All we paid was 5,500. So let's say somebody beat Walmart price with a fair price that sound good in the hood. If they got them for how much did they have them for? 12?
I say 11 or $10.
You going how many dollars under? They got them for 14, man. You could go 8 and you gonna sell all them things. Just look at what's gonna happen.
Nah, I'm just saying. I was just trying to go under $10. You know, that's $5. Look like it's $15. So
I know, but people in the hood, if it ain't close to half, they gonna be like, "Why should I even help you?" You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's see what it pencil out to.
All right, so let's
do
go.
what you saying.
So you said 14. You said 14 7 is half of that, but this is $14.98. So let's just say
Hey,
we got 4,106 times $8. You get so you made 33,000. That's what I'm saying. You spent 5,500. You sold them for under Charmin's price. Each you giving people a 12 pack of toilet paper for $8. Now with this
okay,
type,
what did you say the total was? Did you get 33?
33,000.
Okay, now deduct what, 10,000 off of that?
No, well, you really ain't have to deduct that much. Let's get more detailed now. So I just was being generous. So you see how it says logo right here? They're gonna charge us for that. But let me tell you, we could make the logo on Canva. That's nothing. So we don't gotta pay an artist to do it. So that's nothing. But what they call packaging, you will want to see if this plastic wrap that surrounds the toilet tissue. Sometimes they'll charge you for that. You see, they give it to you in a box with the logo on it. So then that's another charge. Now, some of them will say all of those is included with your 10 cent, and some will say it's not. So only thing you need to pay after this is a customs broker. A customs broker. You probably did your business with or without a customs broker, but at the level that I was doing it, I had to use a customs broker.
Yeah, I wasn't spending much.
Yeah, because I couldn't be responsible for all that money and not have a notarized person who could say, nah, he did this with the money. You see what I'm saying?
So that insured, what does that do? Insure?
Yeah, they definitely insure. They insure port-to-port delivery.
Word.
Or you got insurance. You feel me? And so now we got the logos on there. Now we got it delivered to the port. Now we pick it up from the port, we house it, and we run the business however so we chose after that. Whatever say in the business plan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I wonder what's wrong with them. With this shipping fee over here. Well, how that's going?
What you mean what's wrong with what?
You said that's wrong.
I just have a feeling that that's just a computer
something
glitch.
We ain't understanding.
No, it might be, let me look at some other vendor. It might just be a computer glitch on there. Let me see, toilet paper. Let's see if another vendor says it that expensive. Well,
damn, that look just like Bounty.
I mean, you can make
it's called Boonage.
But that wasn't gonna let you put your own logo, I don't think. Let's see about this. Yeah, this shipper say 100,000. They just, I don't know what's going on there, but that's ridiculousness. I don't think that
might be Trump, man. I told you.
I don't think that
the game up when he came through. Word.
I can ask him right now. You can ask him right now. They don't respond.
I got.
Be like, why is the shipping 100,000? I'm about to ask him.
Because that's you wouldn't want to do that.
No, you definitely not doing that.
No, that's a deal breaker.
Yeah, that's more than you got to be over there. You're going to be in China trying to sell tissue.
Right.
Yeah, so we would have to figure that part of it out. But see, I said, when I was in business and do that, I was just getting ready to start dealing with them, and Trump hit us with that tariff thing, and that just that like popped the balloon right out of my ambition.
See, theirs is calculating right.
Okay,
because they say 600 for 100 bags, but they trying to sell you 30,000 bags though. So it might be, you feel me?
Dang, 600 for 100 bags. Something ain't right with our math for some Smash.
It ain't no math being done. This says the shipping fee for 100 bags. Show me what math is being done. It's like shipping fee for 100 bags.
Bags is 600 or something. I don't know what.
No, let's look at the top. For 30,000 bags, you'll get each bag for 40 each. So we'll have to see what was up with that shipping. But honestly, there'll be a lot of things to offset costs like that and don't make it as too good to be true as you think. But this just looks ridiculous, though. Ain't nobody paying no 100,000 for shipping when it costs this much. That just sounds stupid. So I don't know what's going on.
We'd have to figure out what they got going on with that. But other than that,
I'm gonna click on other products to see what's going on. What does it say on the shipping for the hair, for instance? That was Trump's new tariff that he put in, even though he ain't the. See, now this say 30 boxes is $250, but they
That's
trying to
cool.
sell you 500 to 29 boxes. You see what I'm saying? So that shipping will go up hella high too.
Yeah, do the math on some
So
shit
you're
like
gonna have
that,
to
man.
factor your. Obviously, you gotta factor your shipping
into your price.
Well, if it's 30, if it's $250 for 30 boxes, then it's $2,500 for what 300 boxes, right? Am I wrong? Did I say that right? Yeah, it's $2,500 for 300 boxes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 10 times.
So you saying it's 5,000 for 500 boxes?
Well, if it's $250 for 30 boxes, then yeah, you just keep going up. 60 boxes gonna be 500. 90 boxes is gonna be 750, and 120 boxes or whatever would be
a G.
A G.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's good that we're going through this process just so we can see. I mean, it doesn't have to, what we need to do is what we're doing, right? Going through the product.
Exactly.
Which product makes the most sense.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and this is cool to even, we just doing a workshop. We really ain't pursuing this product. I mean, we just looking at it, and we might find something. You say, look, the shipping on this is so cheap that it's affordable. But all of these shippings look crazy right now. To where it got me wondering, do we even make our toilet paper domestic? Because Charmin got to be cutting that off at the factory. They not paying them prices.
That's say Kleenex or something like it.
See, it be like factories that do be making stuff for other people, and they'll show you who they make stuff for. But that might be a generic ass Kleenex too.
Right. But see, they got a head start on the situation, so they could afford, or they already got some type. I bet you, I know they ain't buying they probably buying 1 million of them and getting a hell of some type of discount. Ain't no telling what's going on. So, but we got to start somewhere. I'll say that.
I don't even understand this. This is something that happened with some laws or something, dog.
That's what I told you.
Trump
when
did
Trump did that was the bubble buster for people getting products back and forth from China. Because that's what everybody had started doing. When people started making T-shirts, we saw
But it ain't just China, though. We could go Vietnam.
Yeah, okay.
Vietnam.
But that's what they're doing now. So America, they at first started to ship. I mean, they helped them get their manufacturing to what it was. But once they got sour relationships with China, now they're going to like Taiwan or something. So I wonder if they got something like an Alibaba in Taiwan where the tariffs ain't that high. Because that's how America get in. I'm telling you. I bet you if they got a good relation with Taiwan and Taiwan making these products, the tariffs are gonna be cheaper.
Yep.
Well, whatever the issue is, we in the right direction.
I
don't think that we gonna come off the show and be like, yeah, we all doing that. Everybody send the money. No, that's not what we doing. We just at least showing people that it's nothing wrong with having these type of conversations. Now y'all know what Soulja Boy did, right? He came right here and said, he went, look, and he made $1 million off that. Let me show you.
What?
This
a video game console.
See, they got hella blank video game consoles with the games already in them, waiting for you to put your logo on it, bro. So you could be like red, black, and green games. You feel me? And
you can make a Magi games, man.
Yep, exactly. But the games that it's gonna have in there is games that people is familiar with already. So they're gonna be playing a generic version of Super Mario or something else. But look at this. Now I'm saying, dog, that's hella clear.
Yep, and he marketed it, based on his name and his fan base. Tapped in,
and he made $1 million. The reason why people gonna buy them because it's a collector's item, if nothing else. But I don't want to talk about nothing that's based off music. We just talk about. Here go another one I've been wanting to do for myself. Because I was like, man, I'm gonna put out my own RC car, bro. Do you know you can have a fast running RC car that's good enough for kids, but it's logo with all your logos from the factory? Oh my gosh, that's killing them.
Somebody
I
that
used to be
just
big in RC cars when I was a kid.
oh, it's two people waiting to join. Oh, that good God. What you say?
I said I used to be big in them RC cars, and when I was a kid, my dad was always on them planes. He used to build the planes and fly them, man. So that's definitely that business been around for a long time.
But they're not cheap enough though. If this was a 10th
Yeah.
scale, this is a 1/28 scale, and they still 140. I need to be getting
That's
that for
helpful.
like $6 or something.
Yeah, I used to mess with the 110 scale.
So you can get 72. So you can get 72 of those cars for $1,300. Is that what they're saying?
They saying you could get 72 of them for $42 each.
No, I was looking at the shipping.
Oh yeah, the shipping, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna have to add the shipping on top. But all that stuff is jokes. I mean, man, I like looking at this stuff.
That dude got a whole goddamn me. That was crazy.
He got what?
got a whole, what was it? A manhole digger or something he had. They was selling. They got tiny homes and everything on here, bro. I mean, this shit is crazy.
Oh no, you could go watch this. I'm gonna put food trucks. You won't even believe it. Dude, they got the cheapest food trucks. With the shipping, it's gonna do everything. Look,
I
man.
think the shipping is because the dock work, the dock is striking and all that.
Oh, they striking right now?
Yeah, on the East Coast.
Man, tell me you could get this for $1,000 to $3,000, bro. That can't be true. I'll be selling anything. Oh, I just got.
Well, go in the inside. Look at the kitchen. Go to the kitchen picture, Smash. I want to see what it look like on the inside. See that one?
Hold on. Can you see it?
Yeah, we see it. Yeah. Yeah, that right there.
Oh, yeah.
So they already got all that in there too.
All you need
Damn,
is
that's a grill.
Yeah, that's a griddle right there. A little fryer over there to the corner. It's a fryer over there.
Man, what's the shipping on one of those?
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be 30 million.
30,000.
Oh, so they make you want to say, how can I sneak?
Oh, they ain't gonna tell you that shit.
How can I sneak this over? The shipping ain't showing.
That shit 30 G's.
But let's look at another one though. But the fact is, the company only want the 2,500. Some middleman, America is in the middle, jacking up the price.
Well, hold on, we can't do this shit over here.
What you mean?
That's a fact.
Hold on, what I'm saying is,
no, we can't do it because we don't have the labor,
some
the cheap labor.
Right there,
all right, here go how we could do this over here. The only way I think
is to skip that price.
No, but see, they can manufacture.
Yeah, I
things.
like this.
They can manufacture things for a lot cheaper than we can over here. There's no way that we gonna make something like this for 2,500 and looking this good. You ain't even gonna get the frame. The frame gonna cost 2,500 out here. Talking about just the bottom frame, not the top. You ever bought a trailer? You buy a trailer like this, it'd be 2,500 just for the frame at the bottom and the two tires.
Okay. What I'm talking about is making it from scratch.
Making it from scratch gonna cost you hella money, bro.
I talked to a brother the other day. He said it cost him 17 bands to get the actual trailer, and it cost him another 13 in order to furnish it with the fryers and everything like that. So he spent 30 grand total.
You see what I mean? You might as well
he had his made here in America or something?
Yeah, he had his made in America.
So here's another thing real quick. I kind of switched our ambitions a little bit. And this is definitely more of a personal pursuit because there's nothing collective you gonna do for the black community with a food truck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we do need to all have our individual things in order to be able to ever step to a collective with something to donate. If you got hella thriving businesses, you're gonna be quicker to donate. Now, something like this, see, I'm real humble, bro. Like, I would get something like this and be with my wife because I'm already married. And I've done my career. Like, I'm like, dude, I'll be standing here having hella fun with my little products and be like, we gonna make this work.
That look like a little hot dog stand.
No. I mean, it got a fryer, it got a grill, so you really can make it what you want. Say French fries, burgers,
whatever. But if we start looking at projects that's more like a collective product, I want to go back to something we probably ain't thinking about. That we all be, what's something that's like on the level of toilet paper, women's hair, something that's ubiquitous. Oh, I know. I'm just gonna put razors, y'all. How about that? See? Shaving razors.
Razor.
You feel me?
Yeah, all
Everybody
type of
gonna
toiletries.
all that type of stuff that people have to use. You trying to tell me we
We got
couldn't?
the whole final pause. Y'all remember when the Nation of Islam had that power program and they were selling toothpaste, toothbrushes, toilet paper, soap, just regular basic toiletries that people go to the store and buy every day. That's where they started. That's why I think that's the blueprint. Now, what happened was, I don't know if y'all followed that story. What happened was Johnson Products got pressured by the powers that be or whoever, and they had to cancel that agreement they had with the nation. So they didn't manufacture the products for the nation. They had to kind of figure out some other back route, and they didn't get the type of scale that they were supposed to. And then they had it for some years, but it didn't really thrive. But that's the idea right there. It's just those products that we use every day, like you said, razor blades, toiletries.
I mean, every time I look at any of this stuff, I'll be seeing opportunity. Because you just take that safety razor off and you get some elaborate ass raw design for your razor. And people, I mean, I use Harry's razors. Y'all see Harry's razors when y'all go to the store?
Yeah, I see Harry's.
Y'all don't ever use, I mean, I just only use Harry's razors. Some people only use Gillette, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I only use Gillette.
Yep, eventually some youngster gonna latch onto your product and be like, I only use, who the hell
Well,
is
see,
Harry?
that's happened with Bevel.
Bevel?
Bevel is black owned.
Okay.
Bevel, BEVL, they're black owned. And Gillette keeps trying to buy them out and they don't sell.
They said
it was a woman that had a hair care product or somebody, and they sold for a couple of million. I mean, probably about, I don't know how much they made, but that was and everybody seemingly was mad at them for selling to whoever they sold to.
Look at this, y'all. 18 cents to $6, and the minimum order is 36 pieces. So you could get this drone for 18 cents. Now, I don't care if I'm going to be sitting at the flea market with them for sale for $5 for Christmas presents. Them things is gone. If it's a real drone, oh my gosh.
You know, I forgot about something too. Talking about the black hair care products. I live in Atlanta. I forgot all about Bronner Brothers.
Oh, they do
That's
hair
the
care
product, I'm
products?
sure. Yeah, you know, I think him and his brother are pastors, but that's where their wealth came from initially, hair care. And they do like a Bronner Brothers hair competition every year too. I think that's where they were going at Poetic Justice. I don't know if y'all remember Poetic Justice.
Now, I do remember. Now, this right here is crazy. This is actually something that because it's too cheap. The shipping is $300 for 36 pieces, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the minimum order quality is 36, and they're going to give it to you from anywhere in between 18 cents to $6. So let's just say $4 for each one. Now, if you got your logos all over it, man, please. I'll be like, man, my drone's only $99.
And he said 99. Yo. Let me see. What happened to the other model you had? He just switched the model up and overpriced. Well, how much is the drone? I don't know.
Nah, drones, I paid $1,000 for one of my drones.
Man, did y'all see what? Man, I don't know.
I paid $1,000 for two of my drones.
So hold on, let me ask y'all: have y'all seen that from that hurricane? How that shit look around there, bro? Have y'all been paying attention to the news on that?
A little bit, yeah. And it ain't even like
that shit is devastating.
But why they get no Katrina size coverage?
I don't know, but this shit is crazy.
I'm over at the house, like I guess they rescued them people already. Cause I ain't heard nothing on the news.
It's over 2,000.
I didn't hear nothing.
Yeah,
it's over 200
There's
people.
There's a lot of tragedies going on in America, right? that
Hey y'all,
hurricane.
hey, this is a joke right here. I ain't trying to throw us off. Y'all can keep doing a lot of
That's
tragedies.
a nice drum.
Yeah, this ain't no punk drum, and it got all these extra lights on it that could just help you sell it. That's all I'm thinking about. Look,
All this shit come with it?
yeah, I mean it's all hooked on there, and you can get dude, you can get 35 of them for $14.50, and the shipping the shipping is $48 for 2 of them. So that's not good. That made it to be.
So y'all just gave me a couple ideas just with the things you brought up. Even when you said drones, you know what that made me think of? And again, I'm always thinking simpler, right? Drawers, man. Drawers. We make some drawers, bro. That's something you can like.
You mean like boxer shorts?
Yes. And just brief boxers and briefs and all that shit.
Look, here
bro.
they
Like,
go right here. Now stuff
I
like
remember
this
Smash
is a lot
did
easier.
a show.
Uh-huh.
I remember Smash did a show like a while back, and I watched it, but I don't think I saved it. I think he saved it, where you were explaining how to set up the online T-shirt business.
Oh, we about to go over that in a minute.
Yeah, okay, so I can save it because I remember seeing it, and I was like, man, that's such a. I thought it would be more complicated than that.
Yeah, it's hella easy. Now, and I use a format that'll just give you a store. But there's a couple of them. Right here, this is good. You could get 10,000 pieces for $1.65, bro. So you can even get 20 to 1,000 people for $2.18. So that means you want to sell these, man, $5 draws. You know, everybody gonna be like $5. That's how many you normally buy a 4-pack.
You probably have to have a 3-pack.
Yeah, you buy a 3 or 4-pack. So it gotta be, you probably want to buy more of them.
yeah, we want to buy them in bulk, and hopefully that's something we could get here without having that heavy shipping cost, or from the Caribbean somewhere close by.
All of Alibaba might be over for Americans because all of these shipping prices is astronomical. $16 for 20 pieces, so that's just 20 pair of drawers.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
they killed. I'm telling you, man. As soon as I got hipped on to this,
they killed it.
They killed me. I was, man, you know, because I got a whole brand. I was contacting these people and everything. And then when that happened, and then when I started to see what happened, that killed it.
But see, this is something that's not rocket science when it comes to manufacturing something as simple as drawers. That's not something that's really, I don't think, rocket science. You know what I mean? Like,
man, right there, I could put Pan-African Apparel right across the top of there. It would have been bam. That's it. Maybe put a Hayru symbol right there on the thigh. The ones right there that you showing for 111 at the bottom right there, smash. What is that, nailish? What is that right there? Nailish? Over there to the right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading about these prices.
Right there, the nailish.
Yeah, these prices ain't right. So that's what I'm saying. I ain't messing with them. You don't let them do the shipping. You let your customs broker do the shipping. It says a 20-foot container on a seafaring boat is still about $2,900 to $4,000. A 40-foot container costs around $4,300. And it says she-fake transit is about 23 days. So you say, nah, y'all don't ship it. Just sit it right there in the warehouse, and our boys gonna come pick that up. That's what a customs broker would do too.
So with a custom broker, what he does, he has a whole bunch of clients, and he already just got a container. Then he shipped everything in his one container, which is save money.
I don't know if that's actually what they do, but
something got to be going on.
What they really do is insure you. They insure your goods from port to port.
Online, you think that would make it pay less for you to get it over here?
Huh?
That'll make it less.
So if you got a person who's going to insure it from port to port, you can have them, they know about the port. So you can just simply say, okay, I need a different delivery company. You see what I'm saying? I need somebody who going. Here's the thing. Shipping, think about that. How are they going to get it to us? They're going to get it to us the same exact ways on a boat, or they're going to do air freight. So essentially, something's wrong here, and it's probably something I haven't learned.
Yeah, we just don't know.
Yeah, I haven't learned about it because I ain't did this in the last 4 or 5 years.
You might, that custom brokers might be the clue, because I'm telling you, they shut me down, and I didn't even think about a workaround. I was just disappointed.
Well,
So maybe
I had
you're right.
yeah.
That custom brokers might have been the play that I should have looked into next. Is how they getting this stuff.
Oh
over
yeah,
there.
because all of that little documentation that you got to give the government, I didn't fill none of that out. They filled it all out for me and made sure it was right. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I mean, this has been a cool show. I ain't rushing to close it down, but I'm about to get something to eat short. Oh, you know what? I got some good cash apps today and some good contributions to the show. I think people appreciated that we was talking about things they could probably use in their life, I guess. So thanks for the cash apps if y'all still watching. And we still here though. What's a product I should probably put into the Baba art? If anybody got a different route, let me try. Because this is just taking us to China. Do y'all know how to access Vietnamese or Taiwanese manufacturers?
I know that they do have some. One I think well, this ain't India, is it?
No, this is
they got
straight.
One in India. Yeah, they got one in India that's similar to this, and I think they may have tried to make one in Africa that's similar to the Alibaba. So maybe if you typed in sites similar to Alibaba, maybe that'd probably give you a hit.
Yeah. I'm just tripping off
this. Look, that walkie-talkie made me think about it.
That's
crazy
what
right
I'm saying.
there.
It's a drone detection system, bro. Damn.
That made me think about explosives.
Well, weaponized drones, you know, DJI, this is a DJI Maverick. This is one of the drones I got. Remember I said I paid that much. Well, believe it or not, I paid that much and I broke one of these on the first flight, bro. The very first
you can't fix it?
Man, I tried to fix it, but the gimbal, I opened it up, but I just chalked it and said I was calling myself stupid. It's like, man, you hella dumb.
So what you should have did is got a lesser expensive drone to practice first.
No, I didn't break it because of that. I launched it with one of the I know how to fly hella good. I launched it with a loose propeller. And so the left propeller just flew off and it sent it into turmoil. But if you want to talk about weaponizing drones, they were almost built for that. I know that's switching the subject, but if you go look at the controller on most drones, they normally got 3 or 4 channels that aren't used for anything. And so what they're telling you is you can take these channels and add things, modify this. And so
what is channels? I ain't never flew a drone.
A channel will allow you to get a certain motion from something called a servo, and it'll normally be back or forth, left or right. You know, you're going to get whatever particular motion. So think about it. The motion you need to fire a gun trigger is what? Back, right? You see what I'm saying? You need something to pull the trigger back closer. So that's what I'm saying. And so you can channel a servo, you know, once you set it all up, and then you channel the servo and you attach a rod to the trigger and you press the channel that makes that individual servo pull backwards and it'll just start shooting the gun, bro. It's like crazy.
Slow down, man. Are you telling me that not all, but some drones have this on here?
Dude, do you know that there has been no military hand-sized drone produced for the Ukrainian soldiers? Guess what they doing? You ain't gonna believe me. Going on the internet, bruh, and buying these DJI drones. You think I'm lying? I'll show you.
The one right here? This one right here?
The same exact drones. So much so, watch me show you this. DJI is banning the sale of their drones. Look, DJI bans Ukraine.
They said banned in the U.S.
No, well, they trying. Oh, well, that's something else. I'm talking about what DJI did. Look, DJI headquarters in China's Shenzhen Valley in the world's largest. Is it talking about? Yeah, it say, look, world largest drone suspends operations in both Russia and Ukraine in April 2022. Now, let me show you who DJI is. That's just a domestic. Look, this is not a military company. This is the company I bought any of my drones from before. See what I'm saying? This is just a private public company. I mean, I said private public. You know what I mean, though. It's
Man,
actually
they got some nice ass drones.
it's public. Yeah, they got good drones. And so again, you can buy something like a so let me show you what they're using for the kamikaze. It's called FPV, the DJI minis, right? And they got these really, well, this ain't even no FPVs. Here go the FPVs. These drones, oh my God, it's just as scary as any Star Wars movie if one of these was chasing you.
Them motherfuckers said $319.
Let me show you what they can do. Let me see. Yep, $319, and you could attach a warhead to it. Hold on. I'm gonna show you something.
Attach a warhead to it.
Yep.
You know what? I be playing Call of Duty sometimes, and that was literally one of the daily mission things I had to do was use one of them, and I ain't really, it didn't click or register to me that was just a drone, but that's exactly what it is.
Oh, you had to have that FPV. Now look at, you see how little this thing is?
No, but it
Yeah, that
uses,
thing is little.
they use it for breaching. It's used for breaching. You'll use it to like breach a door, or it'll.
I'm about to
blow
show
up
y'all
and breach a
something
door
that's
or
gonna
something
have
like
you crazy, bro. They got some of these things taking out tanks, like because it
That
depends
little
on what.
thing?
Yeah, but so C4 is highly explosive. You could take a gram of C4 and blow up something really big, bro. You don't remember when MacGyver used to take what looked like a stick of bubble gum? It was that small. It was C4, and
Right.
you know what I'm saying? It was that small, and it made that big old explosion. So, but watch, this is what I want you to look at is the control and what you could do if you was actually chasing a person. There's no way you're getting away from this. Like it's kind of ridiculous. And so I probably want to just go to some hot shot. He gonna show you. Then we'll go to the military application, which is way more crazy. So let me go FPV drone. If you just go to some hot shot, I'm gonna say FPV drone race. That's what I'm gonna say. Now watch this, bro. You wouldn't even believe how much control these people got. Look at this. Coming through your house, dog. Just really think about that. They could get through any small crack. You think I'm playing? Going this fast, though. You see? Are y'all seeing it?
Yeah, we watching.
Yeah. Watch how many small little cracks they could just go through. So now take this intense, highly precision flying and weaponize it. Oh man, you're gonna just be walking down the hall, some shit gonna come zooming this fast. Boom! And you notice
they using this type of stuff right now.
And you notice he ain't hit nothing yet, right?
He rolling.
Woo! So I mean, really, the military application of this is just way too not even cool.
So hold up, Smash. You can do some shit like this?
I can't. Nah, that's what I can't do.
Word.
Now when I get
You'll
down,
be in last place, huh?
Yeah, I mean, right there is ugly. But now let me show you something. I mean, you know, DJI. Dude, they just be using Velcro and attaching warheads on the front. Hold up. And they could carry hella stuff. Now here you go, right here. Look, you thought I was playing. Look at him putting the little warhead on there, and then they use the extra channel, right? And they click open or close.
Man, cut it out.
Are you looking?
I'm looking. So now you just gotta be oh, you said just Velcro. That's even
well. I'll
deep.
show you another one where they use Velcro, bro.
No, but yeah, that is Velcro right there. Just attaching that little thing
holding
right
the
there.
holding the
Yeah,
little
so I'm
thing
just
to
looking
the
at
trunk.
how they doing this. This is crazy.
Now they probably about to go blow up something really fat, and you're gonna be like, "Whoa!" Now that's scary, bro. They just put that thing up there, and now they about to just go boom it off.
They can see wherever they going to, huh?
Yeah, and you got a camera on there. You be looking like they standing right over there.
I want to see it blow up something. You got something like that?
Well, here are a gun drone that's even scarier. Watch this. Hold up. We'll find them blowing up stuff, but the real way you do it is go look at the war. Look, he put a gun on the end of it. Yeah, really shooting, bro.
Wait a minute, what is that thing in the center? That's just something for the camera?
I couldn't tell you if that was a blemish.
Yeah, that's just for the camera, I guess.
Yeah.
And I guess so it's a sight or something.
That's probably for his sights to what he's shooting at. Now, you know people in America got these because if you got a gun and you got a drone, it don't take nothing to rig this up like this.
This is
dude.
crazy.
Exactly.
Bro.
So I'm like, man, they got to stop before the next mass, whatever they talking about, be
This
going
that shit
down like
Elon
this.
Musk and them be talking about shit getting dangerous.
Oh, it's getting way too dangerous. So let me see. DJI, I'm going to say VLCRO Warhead. Yeah, Velcro drone. Look. It'd be so crazy. I can't even show you, but
so that's a cheap weapon right there.
All right, watch this.
Besides the explosives, probably.
Russian soldier versus drone. Oh man, it's not cool. Look at this. The video contains graphic images, y'all. This is Russian soldiers versus them same drones that we talking about. Now, the footage we see is from the drone. Look, bam, he flew it straight into the truck. And it exploded, see? See how they do it, kamikaze? Bow, you attach that warhead on the front. Now, all you got to do is crash into something so easily.
Yeah, I see the propellers on the joint.
Yeah, he's circling them fools. Look, he about to get them.
Oh, that's really wild.
Oh, man, look at dude sitting right there. I don't even think I can show this. They're not going to show it. Yep. Look, bow. Oh. Now this is the
okay. So
this is the world I don't even want to be in. You feel me? Like y'all doing too much.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. You know, and I thought about what they did to them Hezbollah people, how they had the beepers, and I thought about back when we had beepers back in the day. I was like, they could have blew somebody up like that.
Well.
So this shit is really
that was a
wild.
supply chain issue, meaning that they got into the supply chain and they implanted them explosives. They didn't do it with nothing technical like that.
Right. Yeah, but it got me looking at my phone crazy and all kind of shit right now. So I don't know. But where everybody at?
Huh? What you talking about?
Brandon and
that good guy here, Brandon, right here. I'm still chilling. I'm about to probably order some food and see what I can do.
Yeah, they must have stepped away. But yeah, man, I'm probably finna go do the same. I'm probably finna grab me something to eat too, Smash.
So what did we learn about the plan that we was looking over? Well, I'm gonna say mine first. Y'all can say y'all piece. It seems that things that they pointed out was so practical and real that we accidentally started probing some of the things and seen exactly how practical it could be to do some of these things. They weren't talking strictly about economics, but they talked about, reestablishing communications with the continent as well as having our own economic plan. I don't, update it, James. That's what you do.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We just have to update it, and that's just not something that I'm going to do. But that's something I think we have to do as a collective to look at our situation in 2024, update it, and because like we see our position right now, we still in last place, man. So knowing that, we got to start. If they gone, but Dr. Clark said if we wrote down a plan, if we die, y'all pick up the plan and keep going. So that's all I'm saying. We got to pick up some type of a plan outside of the seemingly nobody seemed to have no type of plan. And we got to try to put something together. I don't know how we going to do this.
It ain't going to happen without money, so we got to get some money.
Right. And then, and me and you on the same thing of tangible products. We got to have some type of product that we could use to try to fund some of the things that we want to do. Right? That's how it always starts. You got to have a tangible product to build on to get some of the other things that you want to do later on. So we could start out with toilet paper. Then do something with the hair. Once we start to see a profit from the toilet paper, using some type of cultural continuity and understand that that's why we doing it.
All right,
have to be a reason.
I'm with that. And I was with that because that is how our conversation went. But in my personal life, I think that we need to be also not trying to do what people already figured out 60 years ago and be behind. We need to come with something new and more innovative with this technology, so to speak. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I ain't saying nothing against all the good work we just did. Trust me, else I wouldn't have did it. But I'm just saying, right now, it got to be even more space age, so to speak, because of what the day and age we living in. Like, just busting out with toilet paper right now will get you so far. It will be good and positive. But cats is busting out with things like YouTube and, you know what I mean?
Exactly. We're just talking about something. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We haven't identified what we want to do, but we know it's something we got to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, man, good bill, man. Oh, somebody just popped up. There goes Stu
Stu
P.
P's want to say something. It's
Stu
cool.
P's.
I got a few
What's
more
up,
minutes.
P, Stu P?
Big up yourself. No, the other day, big up everybody in the panel. Smash. The other day, I listened to part of the program, and it's almost as if you believe that I was supporting Israel. I'm not supporting Israel. I know that Israel is the biggest agitator in the region, and they could only do what they do because they have American backing. They have American backing. And this is, I don't know, pushing Biden to tell Israel to attack Iran oil field. And if Israel do that, Iran is going to counterattack them. And it's going to escalate out of proportion. Because even though Iran attacked them, each time Iran attacked them, Iran choose to attack them in low risk area,
well,
in low
hold
population
on.
area.
Did you see whose reports did you see on what they actually hit or not?
Yeah, they hit part of Tel Aviv, but it wasn't it was the most occupied part.
Well, there's some people, there are other reports from outside the U.S. that's saying that they hit the Mossad headquarters, and they also said they destroyed a hangar that was storing some F-35s. I see.
Yeah, but that is good. If Israel attacks civilian places, Iran attacking the headquarters, the military headquarters, and attacking a military base. That is not war crime.
Yeah, it sure isn't. Only people trying to make it seem like they did something wrong is the Western media.
Yeah, if you attack military bases, you're not doing anything wrong. If you have somebody in conflict, but if you attack high population areas, that kind of iffy. But Iran don't do that. But the rest of the world not seeing that because the news that you're getting is propaganda. Oh, these Israelis, oh, they didn't do anything to deserve this. That's the argument that we're getting.
Yeah.
And that is bullshit. That is bullshit. The Western news is bullshit. It's not fair. And they're pushing for a war now in the Middle East. There's not enough young boys and Puerto Ricans applying for the American armed forces anymore. Those white corn-fed boys from middle American red states not jumping and lining up for the army. I'm not saying that technologically United States is not the greatest fighting force, but manpower-wise, they don't have it anymore. People not running to enlist like there was 50, 40 years ago. You can't confuse these young boys anymore and say, go and give up your life to go fight for oil or to fight for a war that it is not yours. Because they didn't even have enough soldiers for Afghanistan. So what do you think will happen if they go to a war in the Middle East? They're going to institute the draft. Are you ready for the draft? Mm-hmm. I think so. You believe that or you don't believe that? Do you think that there's enough soldiers available to go fight another country? Hello?
Yeah, we listen.
Yeah, you don't have the manpower not there. The manpower not there. How many of those same soldiers did a ton load of tours in Iraq or Afghanistan? 3, 4 tours. Was that necessary? What was the rotation like? Right?
So
What was the rotation?
Somebody said, I don't know what's going on, but somebody said Jordan shot down some of the Iran missiles. But Jordan is supposed to be a Muslim country, I thought. I don't know what's going on.
Jordan is a
I
friend
didn't
of
know
Israel.
that's breaking news. I haven't heard about that.
Jordan has been a friend of Israel for the last 30 years.
That might be true, but Jordan was just condemning them at the UN, and ultimately, they don't got no reason to be friends. They just trying to be a neighbor that don't get crushed first. They kind of like some people will feed the monster just in order to be eaten last.
Mm-hmm.
No, but Jordan will never attack Israel because it's a kingdom like Saudi Arabia. It's not a republic like Iran. It's a kingdom. And those people sell out the. No, they'll never. I'm saying that they'll never. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they'll never physically attack Israel. Those kings don't want to give up the throne. The money is too good.
So let me ask you, what do y'all see the future of this war scenario? Then we're going to wind it down with those conversations. What do you see? How do you see this playing out?
If you wait long enough, Israel is going to assimilate. The Muslim is going to take over Israel in the next 50 years. The Muslim would have made more change with peace.
I'm looking at news reports, and some of this might be fake news, but this is from the Hindustan Times, and they're streaming live, and it says Iran missile attack on Israel starts. Now, is this a different missile attack?
Yeah, they be doing that, Smash. You got to be careful.
Oh, that's an old,
the old one.
Yeah,
they be,
exactly.
they be, and they
that's
just be
old
playing it
one.
on. They're having a loop 24 hours.
Yeah, just trying to get some views, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I done got caught up like
that.
But what's
let's say
is they announce when they gonna do some shit. Even on both sides, they'll say, "Yeah, attack is gonna come. We gonna do this," and then within 24 hours they do it. So why would you tell somebody when you gonna shoot out?
Well, hold on. Here go the Associated Press live. This is Beirut. A live view of the Beirut skyline as Israel airstrikes cuts off key crossing.
That's Lebanon. That's not Israel.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I
Lebanon.
said Beirut. I know. I said Beirut.
Yeah. No, they're currently fighting with Lebanon.
That's correct.
They're currently fighting with Lebanon, Hezbollah, and the Lebanese. First, they was fighting with Hezbollah, and then Hezbollah and the Lebanese army joined Hezbollah. So now they're shitting up the pants because they don't have enough forces to fight Gaza, West Bank, Lebanon, and Iran at the same time.
Wait. Who don't got enough forces?
Israel.
I mean, by themselves they know, but what if we keep giving them all kind of bombs?
Right. And guess what? Nobody know. And if they attack Israel, Iran not getting attacked until after the elections.
Hold on, something is happening because it's on CNN too, James. It's like Pentagon.
Yeah, it's in Lebanon.
But no, this says Pentagon confirms Iran strike plan. So maybe I'm wrong, but I am seeing multiple reports acting like something happening right now. But
they might do a strike on a military base in Iran, but they're not putting a full-fledged because it's a topic that many persons don't agree with.
Do y'all go to
many
Al
persons,
Jazeera?
Jews, they might agree with it.
Do you? Oh, Al Jazeera.
Yeah, you can go there.
All right, so you said the Beirut airport, that's what Israel did, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Beirut, yeah.
Beirut, Israel wanted
Beirut on fire right now.
Yeah. Israel trying to get a foothold into Lebanon, right? Because
so you think it's
they're going to bomb to get up.
Are you saying it's
it's a land grab? But the last time the last time they went into the Golan Heights, they got beaten out of the Golan Heights. People don't remember that. So Israel went into Lebanon, was occupying the Golan Heights.
Bro, they retreated already. Y'all don't remember y'all don't remember 4 days ago they said they was going up into Lebanon? Then they walked up in there, 8 dudes got dropped, and they turned around and ran back.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
Because
that's
the other
crazy.
thing,
That's crazy.
no, the other thing is that the Lebanese army is battle hardened. The Israeli army was only fighting a bunch of rocks throwing green West Bank Palestinian. They weren't fighting a superior ground force like the Lebanese army. Those people are battle hardened.
I mean, Israeli soldiers look so weak when you see them, dog. They don't look nothing like American soldiers, dog. They be looking like little boys that they took up out of a school or something.
Then that's what they are. And that's what they want to do. They want to go into that place and bully everybody because they have the beautiful American Abraham tanks and they have the hammer. What do they call it? What do you call the gun?
I don't know.
The assault rifle. What they have
the AK-47.
the hammer of.
Oh, I don't know. Oh,
It's not an
Kalashnikov.
AK-47.
Kalashnikov.
Oh, no, they have the old special rifle. It's a bullpen rifle.
I don't know.
They call it like the hammer of God or something like
Let me ask
that,
you
or
a
the
question.
sword of God.
Let me ask you this, or anybody who wants to answer. Were the reports about a Russian base in Lebanon being attacked true? All right, cool.
I don't know, but there's no Russia.
I heard that.
I don't know of any Russian base in Lebanon.
I don't know of it either. I
Even
just heard
the-
some reports about that, like they hit a Russian base or something, blew up some
In
Russian
Lebanon?
assets. I don't know. Let me Google some more.
No, what I did
Well,
see
they-
is they said that I just seen something where it said Lebanon joins forces with Russia joins forces with Lebanon, but I don't know what that's about. So I didn't know if it was true, so I didn't click on it. But I just seen something about them sending some troops to.
Oh, Russian base in Syria. See. Let me
Oh
show
yeah,
you.
they did it, and they did. Oh, I be wondering how they shooting bombs and shit off in other people's countries.
Man,
like
this is crazy. This whole new world is crazy. You used to couldn't do none of this. You couldn't just. Israel just started all of this, bruh. Breaking every single rule. Like y'all could just go kill
Yeah,
people
but-
in other people's countries and then don't nothing happen.
Yeah, so
But
they didn't want.
he's a war criminal. He's a war criminal. The Israeli prime minister is a war criminal.
So
But nobody
yeah,
wants to call him that.
So is this all fake? All of these? It says the Times now. Israel destroys Russian air base in Syria. Is this fake news? The
That's
Times
fake.
now.
That's fake. That's fake.
I don't think it's fake.
But you
Steve
think
P.
all of these reports are fake? The Times of India. You think YouTube is allowing somebody to fake
Naval
like their
missile
name
smashes
is the Times
into
of
Russia,
India?
Russia air base. So
It say verified. Don't you see the verified check next to the account? So
Yeah, so
these
that's
are
really
verified
something
news outlets. This shit really happening.
They
Listen,
out of
I don't
control.
believe it.
You don't
I don't
believe
believe
it?
that.
Look straight to me. Said I don't.
No. The reason why I tell you that I don't believe that is
Dude,
that
so what do I need to look at? So let's find the real independent, not YouTube.
let's find the real story.
So we're gonna go to Google and we're gonna put what Russian
Air base strike by
Look,
Israel.
there it go. It popped up before I finished
Damn.
typing. Russian base
All
in
right.
Syria attacked. You still don't believe it? New York Times.
Yeah.
Look,
That's what the
and
New
it
York
got
I
Times.
feel stupid going on.
I feel you too,
No,
Stupid.
no.
I'm with you, Stupid.
Yeah.
But this was
Yeah,
one
let's-
hour ago.
yeah.
This article came out 1 hour
Yeah.
ago. Now, this is going to go crazy now. Why would they
Syrian
shoot a
Russia
Russian
remained
base, bro?
silent on.
They literally trying to
unreported-
start the World War.
No, see, they're near a Russian base in Syria. They didn't attack the base. They attacked near the Russian base.
Hold on.
Listen,
Real quick. The other was saying they hit it. The New York Times, don't just read near, read everything they say. They say
continue,
Russia,
continue.
real quick, Russia remains silent on the reported airstrikes near. They saying they remain silent because they don't know if it hit or not, but they do know it was near. Can we at least?
Yeah, we don't know if it's Italian, but we know it's near. Continue reading it.
Hold on, keep reading. A weapons facility near a Russian air base in the coastal Syrian city was destroyed on Thursday. So now we need to know, is this weapons base near the Russian thing part of Russian stuff?
Is that was it their weapons?
I know, because if it is, it's gonna get ugly.
They hit an ammunition warehouse. Yeah, I was.
How you gonna even hit near my air base? I'm all the way in
How
Syria,
you even do
dog.
something in Syria? They ain't even got shit to do with Lebanon.
That's what I'm trying to say. This
What
is
the
all
hell?
crazy. They trying to fight everybody that's Muslim.
It seemed like they trying to chin. I don't know what. This is crazy. I didn't even expect this one, man. This is breaking news. Because I thought they would just, and I was still trying to figure out, but see, they said Lebanon was shooting some rockets over there for the last couple of months, but you know that could be propaganda.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, everything could be propaganda, but they do be shooting their rockets, but you know why. So look, I'm about to eat because I'm about to starve if I keep on streaming. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, making this another live streaming. All the people watching and the people who contributed to the show who makes this one of the best shows for me to do. Thank y'all. I'm going to go and close this down now.
Everybody, have a wonderful night.
Peace. All right, y'all. And if y'all ain't got my book, you know, this is a wonderful time to go and grab that book, Black Like Osiris. You could get your signed copy right off my Bandcamp. And if you felt like it and you didn't feel like doing all that, you could just contribute to the show right on the Cash App or anything, or just keep on getting it in.